I don't want to be. I'd never want to be on your end, man. I'm glad you ignored that.
On my end, shut the fuck up.
Hey, man, if we curse this early into the video, we'll never get monetized, and we can never become DJ Academics or Fresh and Fit.
So if it's instead of saying fuck, I should say what the hey, like not what the fuck, like but what the hey, like a BT movie.
A BT movie.
Yeah, you know, like the movies they put on BT and then
BET.
Yeah, Black Television. Yeah.
You know, I don't watch that network. After they got rid of
me neither, but that doesn't mean that you haven't watched it before. If they've got what's a movie maybe? Let's say
I don't know, any Tyler Perry movie.
Whoa, any Tyler Perry movie.
Whoa. That's where you lost me. A Tyler Perry movie. I don't put that poison in my brain. I love black people.
Okay, what about the other black movies though, like Baby Boy?
That's what I'm saying. Like movies like that, or they might even they might even throw the New Jack City or some shit.
Hey,
I love New Jack City, but I'm just saying that's a movie.
They're doing Jason's Lyric live at the Cobb Arena. I think I'm going.
Jason's who?
Jason's Lyric.
You don't know Jason's Lyric?
Never seen it.
God damn, with Jada Pinkett?
Bro, it's one of the saddest movies ever.
With Jada Pinkett?
When he accidentally shoot.
Movie and she was really fine.
Is it sadder than Set It Off and how that ended? I mean, the whole crew getting fucking annihilated.
Sad because that's what they signed up for. So
yeah.
So no, Jason's Lyric is more sad because they didn't sign up for that shit. They signed up.
I've never seen it. Who's the co-star with her?
The guy from you know him. I'm about to show him.
Weaver.
No,
yeah, please. Bro, it's 90s niggas, man.
Weaver.
This nigga, you don't know.
Weaver, Simba.
No, it's this guy. Look. Remember him?
Oh, I know Bo King.
So he's the light-skinned dude.
I know, I'm looking at
the main guy and Jada Pinkett.
Yeah, he's in New Jack City, right? That's him.
Yeah, they are in New Jack City.
Okay. Yeah.
Those are different movies. Oh.
Random 90s black actors, but I'm thinking about going to it. It's like at the Cobb Energy Center.
It's a Broadway play version of it?
Oh, I need to see it.
Yeah, look it up, research.
Right. Well, first of all, here, we done started this show and we haven't even done this. How are you doing today, sir?
Man, I'm great, man. I'm just feeling like an awesome dad today and a proud Morehouse alum. I promise you, we didn't plan this.
We really did not. For anyone that's watching currently, because I see it looks like we got a couple people on YouTube. This was not coordinated. I just threw this on. I just took a shower and I don't know. I just put on my Morehouse shirt and then you get on and I see you got Morehouse College. You're sleeveless, but
it was 75 today, feeling real springy out here. And, I'm back in the gym. So I felt like I should just, give them the vibes.
Oh, well, you're serving it. Pause. But wait, Eric.
Yes, queen. You're serving.
Did she just call me a queen?
I didn't know that.
Literally. Yeah, that's crazy.
Literally.
Yes, queen, you're serving them. I'm serving them.
He had put something in the group chat where it was a black dude. He walked up to a bunch of white chicks. He's like, the easiest way to pull some chicks if you're walking by yourself and you see a group of girls and there's one that looks really good. You just walk up and be like, literally? And then, but you keep looking at literally.
And they're going to scream. They're going to fall out in the ground. They're going to be like.
Because it'll give you time to think about what you're really going to say. Because you can say literally, like, you can compliment their ugly bag, like their shoe, like whatever it is. Right. Or just if she looks good, just say literally your eyelashes. Like just some dumb shit. Some shit that, but I'm just saying, like it could be anything. It could be anything.
Yeah.
Or you temper like 300% on a domestic beer.
Oh, well, you're talking about going somewhere. I'm talking about walking in the street and like not even catcalling, but like
That is catcalling.
I don't think that's catcalling.
Unfortunately.
That's definitely catcalling.
If I walk up to a bunch of chicks and I say literally, and like I put my hands on my literally.
Unfortunately, it is. Yeah.
Hey, catcalling is not necessarily bad.
Yeah, exactly. It's not.
That's
Well, but it
respect.
has a bad reputation.
That's true.
Because when you think catcalling, it's like, hey, my mom. Like,
oh, like, hey, shawty. Hey, red shirt. Hey, come here, little shawty. Come here, red shirt.
Red shirt.
I don't even think I've ever went up to a chick for real, in a mall and catcalled. As crazy as that sounds, like I've definitely approached women like in high school. I'm saying, but
Dog.
I'm going to Perimeter at the time because that's the mall that was close to my high school. But it was like, man, we were hollering at white chicks. So like, yeah, like I'm just saying, I didn't have to do that. Like,
why weren't you at South DeKalb, man?
Because by the time I was hanging out by a mall, actually Stonecrest would have been the one for me because that was close.
I know. I couldn't Stonecrest to save my life.
I'm just saying, after school, like if we didn't have basketball practice, like let's say it was springtime, season's over, and we're hanging out, we're going to Perimeter, and like,
Jason Whitetail.
You hit Abercrombie and Finch, American Eagle, fucking Spencer's, fucking Urban Outfitter, the cliche.
Right, I was never picking up chicks at the mall.
I didn't. Well, the thing is that Spencer's was always this so risque type store. I can barely remember, but I was an Urban Outfitter, Abercrombie Finch, American Eagle for jeans, like and stuff like that.
Are you sure? Because it's Abercrombie and Fitch.
A&F, nigga. What do you want? Like,
what are we gonna?
Yeah, I was an Abercrombie, American Eagle, Hollister, Macy's guy.
Oh yeah, Aeropostale too.
Not too much Aeropostale. I go Aeropostale on the jeans because niggas wouldn't know. I'm not going Aeropostale on the shirt because you're getting clown for the Aero.
But it changed. I mean, everything always used to change because I'm talking about you buying your own clothes, right? Like at that point in high school, like you got a little bit of money where you're going to buy clothes.
I
started Foot Locker.
I started working in the third grade, so I always had summer money.
Nigga.
Huh?
Shut the fuck up. So you were going to Macy's. You were copping some Fat Farm and Sean John, like.
If my mom wouldn't buy it, yeah, because so my granddaddy owned a construction company,
nigga, right? Like,
but like for real, no, my granddaddy owned a construction company, so I worked like summer after third grade. I started working for him, and I worked for him every summer until I was 16. Then I went and got a real job where I could get more money because, he paying me cash out. Child labor laws don't exist.
You weren't delivering the paper, were you?
Hell no, I was taking shingles up roofs and building floors and
cleaning gutters.
Yeah, not cleaning gutters, installing gutters, nigga.
Yeah.
Like, nigga was working.
I'm sorry, my dad does this shit. That's I'm like,
Hey, but no. Here, what I'm gathering from this is we definitely have to re-engage in the conversation about having another voice on this show, and figuring out who that voice is, and having that voice here consistently because I really like the dynamic that we have here with the third mic. Pause.
For sure. Well, guys, we got Erico in the building.
Hove did.
Yeah, I was about to say, give us the Hove did. But yeah, we got a special guest in the house.
Hey, how was your weekend, man?
Good. Obviously, I was in Europe.
That's obvious to our listeners.
It's not obvious, but yes, I was in Europe. Was there for a couple of days. Initially was supposed to be visiting my buddy with Tana Wobo, nigga. But the flights and stuff for those that don't know, because I always put out the disclaimer. I'm honest, Abe. I don't want people to think I'm out here spending a ton of cash because I'm not. It's free for me to fly, guys. I made that deposit a long time ago to fly. And those are the perks of it. But that's why anyone else should do it. It's the smartest way to travel. If you can get your hands on one, you should get your hands on one because you can do shit like that. I had probably this whole weekend, man, I didn't spend $700. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
neither.
And this is me going overseas, round trip, airport eating out where I'm going to party, getting liquor, all this stuff, and just turning and burning the entire time. These are with multiple connectors and stuff too, and didn't even spend $700. Taking the MARTA, had to get an Uber on the way back because I got back so late, so I couldn't take.
So tell us about Europe instead of your transit there, like your transit.
Expenses. Now,
we don't care about that.
Yeah, so for London, I had been there. That's where I initially went. Good time, of course.
Quick question about London.
Go ahead.
Did you go and shop at the mall?
No, I didn't. I did not do that. I got an ice cold pint at the pub, but I had terrible British accent, by the way. But went to a bunch of pubs. One of the things I do every city I go to, even a place like that where I've been before, I always hit McDonald's. That is just like a staple for me. Any country I go to, I have to get McDonald's because there's always something new. And this time there was something new there. They had something called a Philly cheesesteak cheeseburger. I did not get that because I was like, this sounds like shit. Like I'm going to shit like this out like immediately. It's like gooey cheese. I don't know. Not mine. And I love Philly cheesesteaks, but I didn't.
But no, a McDonald's boo-boo is like a nasty boo-boo. Like you don't want that when you're trying to travel and have fun. Like I'm at home on a Sunday with no responsibilities.
Yeah, that's runny. But I went to there. They did have something, so I got like a normal double cheeseburger, but that double cheeseburger had chili on it, which doesn't sound any better than what I was just talking about. I didn't have the runs or anything though after eating it. But it was like, it's funny, me and Erica, we were talking about this earlier. They have the varsity, right? They do a chili cheeseburger. So, but it was, imagine McDonald's doing one. That's basically what it was. And then had honestly the greatest Indian food I've ever had. And for those that haven't been, Indian food out there is the equivalent to Mexican food here. So,
that would tell me that it's prevalent, but not great.
Not some good. You can get some good ass Mexican here. What we're gonna do when we go to the gym is go.
Hold on. You mean like Mexican in America or Mexican like in the Atlanta area?
Mexican in America, period.
Cause I lived in San Diego, so like I'm a Mexican food snob.
Yeah, but that's like, I was about to say something that would get us shut down. That's burritos and shit too. You guys like the fry shit in your burritos. Like Josh Holsey, you were with us too that night, but Josh Holsey specifically one time was like, he's like, you guys got to go to this burrito stand.
No, look here. Don't group my Mexican eating.
Josh Holsey. I'm saying you were with us that night.
Yeah, because I know the place you're talking about. He loves it. Yeah. He had the 2 spots by his old crib. But you're talking to somebody who would like go to Chula Vista, go to Southeast. I would go to the slums to get the good Mexican food.
Right.
Josh Holsey, he's not leaving his cushy little, the areas that he goes to, where the tourists go.
White neighborhood?
I didn't say that. You did.
We're not
I'm
gonna go ahead and stick up for Josh. Y'all leave Josh alone. What the fuck?
It's a running gag.
No,
That's how I know Erica's never tuned in because she didn't know that.
Talk shit about Josh.
Yeah. Josh is a punching bag on this show.
Actually, we gave
I kind of grew up with Josh.
We actually gave him his flowers. If it wasn't last week's show, it was 2 weeks ago. We gave how much we love him. We really gave him his flowers, and he never heard it because he doesn't listen.
He doesn't listen.
Yeah.
He doesn't give a
he barely answers when we want him to call in. But Josh is a punching bag on this show, and a loyal listener actually thought that Josh was like the person who we describe him as on this show. So we had to come back and clean it up because we don't want our listeners to think that Josh Holsey's an idiot. We love Josh Holsey. We just say bad things about him because it's fun.
Yeah, great. I mean, great man. But at the same time, he sets himself up for this. I mean, we're not doing this. We're not picking on him. We're telling the truth too. And so, I mean, some might look at it. It's like the Richie Incognito, Jonathan Martin bullying scandal. It never really happened. You know what I mean? We're fucking with him.
Yeah, no, Charles Barkley wasn't there. You know what I mean? This wasn't Chuck.
Yeah.
I gotta add that one too.
Yeah. Well, and that can be on the back end. Let's get to the fucking Falcons first. I know the freestyle is always great to start, but we got 15 minutes of that in.
Guys, here's what we're doing. We're going to run this football.
Get this guy off. He doesn't matter. We are all here to do what Falcons do. I gotta play it again. We are all here to do what Falcons do. Hey guys. So,
wait, Lee. For the thumbnail, can you use the "Not on My Watch" Adam Lee for the thumbnail for this segment?
I can do it for the episode.
All right. Well, that works. Yeah, because it's A+ Atlanta Falcons, and that's who runs the team. So,
so we're having a Falcons first segment this week, not because the Falcons, passed the NFL Players Association poll with flying colors, but because we're focusing on defense at the combine, which tells us in the first round we're drafting defense. We don't have a 2 this year, do we?
No, we do have a 2. We don't have the Kirk Cousins thing. We lost a 4.
Okay.
So we traded. We did, but we traded up last year to get Rukaroro. So, like, I don't know. I don't think we gave up our 2 for this year. I don't believe so. We might have given up our 3 though, because we traded up in the second round. So that cost you. That probably cost you 3.
Let me pull up the draft picks right now. So, in 2025, the Falcons. Come on, let's go internet. We got a first. We got number 15 in the first, 46 in the second, 117 in the fourth, and 2 7th-round picks.
So maybe it was a 5th we got deducted for the Cousins, but the 3rd we had to have used that to trade up to get a Roro.
It sounds like Kyle Pitts and Kirk Cousins are on the move before the draft.
Yeah, because we should be able to get a 3 for Pitts. And I feel like we should be able to get a 4 for Kirk. Between
the 2 of them, we should walk away with a 3 and a 4. I don't know who gets what because I don't know what the demand's going to be, but we should get a 3 and a 4 for them. And hopefully, maybe in the first round, depending on what's available at 15, maybe we trade back to get another 2 or some crazy. We need more. We need more picks than we need specific players at this point in time because
correct.
We're not a great drafting position.
And we're not a great drafting team when it comes to non-offensive players to start outside of Kyle Pitts, of course, because we kind of blew that. We're not great at drafting anything outside of the first round. We're not the Philadelphia Eagles. We're not Howie Roseman. We don't know how to draft really good players that, I don't know, play down the street and then
get drafted in the same
way. But they don't even have to start immediately. Those guys sit for a year or 2, typically. Everybody that they draft, if you look at it, and I know it's Falcons first, but I am going to talk about the Eagles too. Everybody that they draft, Jordan Davis wasn't just fucking playing every snap his first year, 2. Now, Jalen Carr's the outlier of that whole group of people that they drafted. And now Cooper Eugene was really good. Those are guys that started immediately. But they're secondary. Worse in the NFL.
No. Coop didn't start immediately. He got his spot throughout the year.
But I guess, I'm saying with him and Mitchell, I'm saying in general, like.
Now, Quinion started day 1, but Cooper.
They also had the worst secondary in the NFL last year. So, like,
Where's James Bradbury?
Man, somewhere shaking a can and needing spare change because he's out of the job.
He was on that roster, wasn't he?
He was. He got another ring. I think he was he was on the team when they just lost too.
Yeah, he wasn't on the winning team. But what are your thoughts on the Falcons going all in on defense at the combine?
Necessary. If I had to use one word to describe it, it's necessary. We need that. We know that we need that. So I like the idea of them being very intentional and purposeful in the idea of what the combine is by not sending any offensive people. Now, it's a little weird because you still should look at everyone no matter what, even if you're scouting them for when you play them, one way or another. So that might be something, but I get it. They're sending a message to the fan base, hey, we're going to address what's been the issue. But at that point, then just tell me that nothing but the D-line people were there. You know what I mean? The pass rushing. We strictly looked at that. And so I like it overall. And I think I told you I went to a Mexican spot out in the mountain. And there's a guy there, and we talked about it. And there's a certain safety in Georgia that we are okay with if we're not going to go pass rush. So the idea that they are looking exclusively at defense is a big W for me.
I want D-line. What I really want, I want a 3 technique.
But you're not mad at Malachi Starks either. If that really is the direction we go, I don't think I'd be mad at it.
I'm not mad at it if there is not a pass rusher who is head and shoulder, who is close to who he is, who you view Malachi Starks as a prospect available. Like, I don't want to reach for a pass rusher.
Me neither.
But I really want a pass rusher. But more than I want a pass rusher, I want a 3 technique, because I think a good 3 technique makes it easier for the pass rusher while also addressing stopping the run.
Correct. And the thing is, with the pending free agency of Justin Simmons, Matthew Judon, these 2 guys that we kind of went in on, I mean, more so with Judon, less so with – okay, that's where we gave up our third, by the way, now that I think about it.
It's Judon. Yeah.
That's where we lost it. So I don't know what they traded up to get Aurora, but we move on from there, and Judon probably isn't back. I don't know what type of deal he gets or where he even goes, because he was such a disappointment here. But
can I cut you off real quick? Breaking news.
Okay.
Jeffrey Epstein flight logs and names will be released tomorrow.
Who said that? Donald Trump? This is an official White House statement?
Attorney General Pam Bondi tells Fox News.
So he's dropping the list.
We'll get back to that in culture, but I just had to put it on your membrane right now. Pause.
Wow. You're about to make me get on Twitter.
Well, let's finish our point.
No, I'm listening. I'm just saying. Steve Smith. I'd get on Twitter, and Steve Smith, by the way, just to put it on your membrane, he said R.I.P. Centel. I don't know why he tweeted that.
Stephen A. Smith?
Yes, and this is his real profile.
I'm happy you said Steve Smith, because that reminded me. I didn't have the Steve Smith affair.
Oh, man. Do we even put that in NFL, or is that culture?
No, that's culture. I wrote it under culture. I just didn't have it in the notes.
Man.
Hey, but look, we've been talking about the Falcons, and it's obvious that we want the Falcons to go defense, and we prefer it to happen in the trenches, but we do understand if they get Malachi Starks, a great safety prospect out of Georgia. But, the Falcons finally got a victory, a major victory over the rest of the NFL, a victory that means something if you're an owner, but a victory that means jack shit to the fans. So the Falcons got an amazing grade by the NFL Players Association's team rankings poll. Now, as I'm scrolling up and trying to stall and talk, I'm trying to find it. So the Falcons report card grade, third best in the NFL. Per the Falcons players, Raheem Morris was the second highest graded coach. And behind Dan Quinn. Oh, that's funny.
DQ, huh?
And Arthur Blank was a top 3 owner. So the Falcons got A+ in owner, A- in trading staff, A in nutritionist/dietitian, B in training program, A+ in head coach, A in strength coach, A+ for locker room, A+ for weight room, B+ for team travel, which means it's probably some bum niggas whose family don't get to travel on the team's dime and they mad about it. A, food/cafeteria, A in treatment of families. And all of that results in no playoffs since what, 2017?
Yeah, we're still at the bottom of the list when it comes to playoffs, let alone winning one, just going. I mean,
yeah, so
we don't have any, no appearances.
So here's what I gather from this. Atlanta is running a tip-top operation. As far as
they overpaid Julio. They ripped up. Julio had 3 years on his deal, and they ripped the contract up.
Yeah, and gave him like
20 at the time. And think about it, that was when no receiver was making 20.
It was 3 years. It was 3 years, 66, and he got like 60 something of it guaranteed.
I was in Minnesota the day before because it was the day before the season started, and people were like, he might not play. Me and Justice were in Minnesota. We opened the season against Minnesota that year. And like, point being, I don't have to go into that. Point being, the Falcons take care of their players. So it doesn't really surprise me that the players have nothing but good things to say. He pays them. He typically pays Devontae Freeman. Matt, I mean, I'm not mad at Matt. They had to pay Matt. People can say what they want. Matt come off an MVP season with 1 year left on his deal. They had to pay Matt no matter what. So
I mean, you definitely say that.
They had to. They didn't have to do what they did with Julio. They ripped up 3 years on that nigga's deal and gave him a brand new deal. They didn't have to do that. But I get the loyalty. I get what Rich is like. Julio, we look at you as what you really are. Not what you're going to do, but what you are.
What you were.
One of the greatest players to ever put on this jersey and the best player, in my opinion, of that era at that position.
Julio Jones had the highest highs positionally of any Falcon. And I know that sounds like really crazy, but I say that to say Deion Sanders, best player to ever play for the Falcons. Right. Now, Deion's peak was not with the Falcons. Matt Ryan, best Falcon, because he operated at a high level for the most years.
Correct.
But Julio, in his prime, Julio played his prime with the Falcons and was the best player to ever play for the Falcons.
Correct.
Best player to ever play in a Falcons jersey.
For a decade.
Best player to have his best play in a Falcons jersey. There we go.
Yes.
I know that sounds like we're like pulling hairs here. But like that you kind of have to do it that way because somebody would say, well, Deion was a better overall NFL player than Julio, and he played for
he's considered the greatest cornerback ever, right?
Right. And some people consider him the greatest football player ever.
And, here's the other thing with Deion. He claims the Falcons.
Yes, he does.
That is the team. He's like Spike Lee, at a game. He's wearing Morehouse paraphernalia. When you ask Deion, he talks about Atlanta. He talks about the Falcons. Even though he won rings with 2 other franchises, he considers himself a Falcon.
He's on the intro video before the game starts.
Correct.
And so, yeah, that's why I have to put it out there like that. But the Falcons get an A+ as far as their operations, but none of this was really about football itself and how you build a team. And we've seen that the Falcons can't build a team properly. And Parlay Pete, another thing I really think about here?
What's that?
The Atlanta market suffers in free agency. And a lot of times people don't understand why. You go, Atlanta's a great city to live in. It's fun. The nightlife is great. There's a good food scene here. It's not really talked about, but like there's a good food scene in Atlanta.
Yeah, there's good food here.
And it's a city where you can have money and not be bothered.
Correct.
Because there's a lot of rich, famous people who live in Atlanta. So like, my nigga, you can go to Publix and Buckhead and just grocery shop.
Right.
Now, Falcon, that may not be the best place for you to live because of our facility. And I think that may be the problem. But probably Pete, let me throw this at you. I remember listening to Jeff Teague talk to, I think it was Jeff Teague talking about Rudy Gay, or maybe it was Rudy. No, it was Rudy Gay talking on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. And he talked about having the opportunity to come to Atlanta. And his wife was like, nah. In the NFL, oftentimes we see players married earlier.
Yeah, they'll be Travis Hunter.
Maybe.
Or initially Russell Wilson.
Right. But when you think about free agency, right, for an NFL player, that's 25, 26, 27, depending on when you come out and depending on what your deal is.
But their league is so different too. Like the NBA, they're traveling every other night to different cities, and like. But
that makes Atlanta more appealing for an NFL player because you're here all week. Period.
Well, and it's a great place to live, and I don't think people really realize like how behind it, because you're already rich. So if you're rich, it's great living anywhere. If we're being honest, but like if neighborhooding and just like what the happenings of a city, Atlanta falls is definitely the top 10 of the United States.
But hold on, let me land here, right? When you think about the ages of NFL players when they hit free agency, and you and I, yeah, they're 27. They're in their mid-20s, which like in normal nigga life, you're married. Like forget, like a lot of like normal people are married at 27. Not even like we're talking about.
I'm going to fact check you on this because I am curious. I'm going to go to ChatGPT, but continue. I'm going to type in average age of married American.
Okay. It's definitely increasing because we're letting women get jobs and education so they can actually control their futures. And
the average age of the first marriage, bless you, the average age for the first marriage in the U.S. is around 30 years old for men and 28 for women.
Checks out. So around that. So if you think about being married at 30, you probably have a serious girlfriend around 27 or 28.
Correct, because you have to build up to that.
Exactly. So you start thinking about this NFL stuff and coming to Atlanta. Until you live in Atlanta, you don't understand that Atlanta is not as Atlanta and the surrounding areas around Atlanta, especially as a football player, is not as wild as you think it is. Because if you play for the Falcons, you could live in Gainesville, Flowery Branch, you know what I mean? That area. Or Gwinnett County. And you aren't being pulled in by the Atlanta bullshit. And the one day a week that you got to drive to the city to play the game, you go to the city. But you can be in the suburbs and not have that Atlanta nightlife magic city that everybody talks about really and truly affect your life. Now, in the NBA, I understand why it's really a problem. But I think if you haven't lived here and you don't understand the way the social scene works, you'll think it's crazy, and it can be crazy, but it's only as crazy as you allow it to be.
That's true. But and the thing too is when it comes to the NBA players, we talked about this privately, obviously, but like when it comes to the NBA guys, like you said, an NBA player, and when he steps out, everybody's like, oh, nigga, what team you play for in the league? If an NFL player steps out, you might not know necessarily who it is. They wear helmets, first of all, but like if they're not super famous, you might not know that. Like you're just like, this is a fit dude out tonight. And so NBA niggas get way more attention from women because they're tall. And
NFL players get more attention from dudes when they're out because dudes are actually fans and know what they look like.
And more importantly, the NFL is more popular than the NBA in the United States. So,
well, think about it. Think about it. Remember who I told you I ran into at dinner Sunday night in Atlanta?
Correct. Most people may not know who that is.
Right. And I was at a nice steakhouse in a nice part of Atlanta, ran into a famous coach. He's in there.
Chops used to be one of our spots. You sent something, and I had to send you a question because I don't know what the fuck you had sent, but then you corrected it and you said Chops. I was like, yeah, I know Chops, man. Chops Lobster Bar.
I think that might be one of my sit at the bar and overpay for dinner spots.
We're going to get to do a steak dinner. I can't wait.
Bro, we've never done dinner. Just me and you just like, hey, bro, let's go grab dinner one night.
Yeah.
I think when we start this gym thing, as I build out my my evening schedule, I think that sets us up well for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
But the point being is, I saw that guy there, head nod, and you know that area. You could live in that area or visit that area and be hotel home, dinner home. Strip clubs are close and bars are close, but it's more like the adult scene of, bro, you just hit a nice restaurant and you hang out in there.
Yeah.
Which takes me to a non-football conversation. Parlay Pete,
I'm here.
don't you like the restaurant bar scene much more over the lit nightlife scene?
I always have, though, low key. Like, I always have been more into. I'm not gonna say I was all about getting food, like as a jit, but like, I think I've never been into club culture that way. Like, for real, I just have never been into it. And it's the same thing with strip clubs. I've had good times at strip clubs. Don't get it twisted. I've had good times at clubs, but it's a certain type of atmosphere I like to be around. And I'm not trying to sit here and be like, oh man, I was mature, like younger, but it just never did anything for me to go to clubs and stuff. It was always an overrated experience because it's loud music. You can't even really talk to somebody if you want. And typically it smells like smoke. You're overpaying for everything. While if you go to a steakhouse or even a lounge, or instead of a strip club, a gentleman's club, shout out to Cheetah, you can get this all in one experience that immerses you with women, good eating, networking potentially. Like there's so much more that comes from it.
Yeah, I put the club and the strip club in different pockets. So the strip club for me, the first time I battled with depression, I was in the strip club crazy. So if it's not a major night out to celebrate, I don't even want to go to the strip club because I'm always reminded of that space that I was in. Not to get too dark here, but like I'm reminded of the space that I was in if I just go to the strip club on some casual shit.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the strip club, love the strip club. Last time I was out of town, I went to the strip club, had a great time, and don't regret it. Would love to do it again. Right. All right. So let's keep that there. Going to the club, I don't go to the club to chase ass. I go to the club to just turn up and have fun because that was always my club experience. But when you start talking bar, restaurant, lounge, where I can actually speak in a conversational tone, well, that's what I'm into.
Yeah, I just think that when it comes to that strip club aspect of stuff, it's one of those things where, yeah, fat ass, yeah, some of them are really hot. Like some of them look good too, obviously. It's not just a fat ass, but strip club culture in general is an overrated culture to me too. It's just an overrated culture. The first time I went to Magic City was with you, if you remember. I actually showed up. I lived down the street, of course, but like at the same time, like I had never even went to Magic City. And Magic City's quote unquote not only the most famous in Atlanta, but really in the like that is one of them places that it's KOD. It's in the same breath as those places, and it's a smaller strip club too. Of all the strip clubs, it's a small joint. but it's the world famous Magic City. And like, even going there, you get the food. I got to get the wings and stuff, all this stuff.
Think about all the nights where we could have walked to Magic City and we would just go to Parlor, or we would just sit at the crib and just drink, because that's not the vibe.
Right.
Like, yeah, if we went to the strip club, we would have enjoyed ourselves. But for the money we would have spent, because you're talking about Magic on a Saturday, that's 60 at the door. Magic ain't a strip club where you can really just pull out 100 and like stretch it and enjoy yourself.
No.
You got to throw.
You spend it 20 a song, and the songs are 1 minute. Like,
right. So if you're not getting lap dances, if you're just throwing on stage, you got to pull 2, really 3. And that's a light night. And I'm not saying this as somebody balling, because I don't go there. The reason why, like, I would go to the strip club heavy in San Diego, because dog, I could throw 100 and be cool.
Right.
And get a couple lap dances off that same 100. You know what I'm saying? And have a good night. So yeah, I don't know how we got on strip club, but is there anything else in the NFL?
Well, we're talking about league niggas and how.
Oh yeah. Why we can't get players in Atlanta? But is there anything else from that poll that you care to talk about? Like, we can go through some of the high points of it, but I don't know if any of it matters, because at the end
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and that's the thing. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Mac Miller had a skit on Faces, his mixtape, that did that. It just doesn't matter, because it doesn't bring us a championship, and it doesn't bring us better free agents. And we can sell this city as much as we want to niggas. If you aren't somebody that wants to necessarily, especially because there's so many guys in the league that are from Georgia, and that's in any league, not just the NFL, but the NBA, baseball, even, like, some guys don't necessarily want to come home. Kirk Cousins, for instance, wanted to come here. His wife was from it. Like, he actually wanted to be a Falcon. And, like, it's crazy. We got the A+, and, like, now we got this situation with him and how that's going to play out. But
well, the operation's not an A+. I bet if you did like an executive poll, we get like a C.
Oof, man. I think you're being generous with that. I'm looking at a failing grade at Morehouse, so a D- or something. Like,
I wouldn't be shocked. I was being positive. But you know what's crazy about, you talk about players not wanting to come home?
Yeah.
As somebody who's recently moved home, if it did not logistically and financially make as much sense as it did, when you talk about like a culture fit, I'm ready to move. I'm ready to like go somewhere else. Like, I love seeing my mom. I love seeing like my friends. But I'm used to like being away. And like, when you get used to being away, you still love home and you think home's dope and you can always live there. But when you've lived in a few places, like quickly, like I have, like I've lived in like, I don't know, like 5, 7
4 or
places.
5 cities, yeah.
Yeah, in 10 years, it's like I'm actually ready to find a new city and conquer it, which is like why I was telling you in pre-production, I've been thinking about moving closer to the city, because I don't know the city anymore. So now I want to like.
It is a new place. Atlanta's a new place though now.
So yeah, like I want to learn it all over again, because like I went out Saturday night with Mr. Turner. We had a great time.
You know what's funny? And Jew's a guy, Mr. Turner, he loves please don't sue us. His nickname's Jew, guys. I'm not talking about y'all. But he's somebody that I think if he could live here, he would. Like, I think that obviously not just because his daughter's here, but like at the same time.
No. He is.
He likes Atlanta too, which I understand, because to me, there is no place like Atlanta in my opinion.
Probably Pete.
Yeah.
me, you, and Mr. Turner all have children.
Mm-hmm.
If the three of us lived in the city, how terrible would our weekdays be without like the weekdays when we're not being parents?
It'd be frat house behavior. And like
because I mean, it would be, hey, y'all trying to hit Nobu tonight? Grab dinner? Yeah, fuck it, let's go.
See who's there. Then you know, even if all right, we're at the bar and then we're like, all right, well, let's, you know, we might as well hit the spot. We're over here.
Or like,
you
because
meet somebody, you're not even necessarily trying to do anything. It's nothing like that. It's just more of a, you're out and about, you meet some people, you talk a little bit.
and think about it, if Mr. Turner doesn't move to the county where he's from, right? If he actually like is a city based, we could talk him into joining the gym.
Yeah.
So now we're working out in the evenings together.
Right.
If niggas ain't got meal prep ready, oh, let's just go grab dinner over here in Vinings. Hey, let's just hit South City Kitchen real quick and go sit in
let's hit some sushi.
sit in the speakeasy in the back. Oh shit, the Braves got a 7:30 game. Let's just go buy some bullshit tickets after we leave the gym and see where we can walk down to. And now we're in the Battery after the game and it's 2 a.m. and it's like, fuck. So I say all of that to say, if you're an outside kid, you don't grow out of it and don't think you're going to grow out of it. You just may have other priorities that stop you from doing it. But when those priorities don't exist, dog, you're going to want to be outside.
Right.
I mean, we don't kick it on the weekends because you be gone on the weekends where you ain't busy.
I'll leave a little bit.
Yeah, but and I'm not saying it like to shit on you, but it's just
no.
Like you like to travel and now you can travel again.
Yeah.
So you're traveling.
Yeah.
I like to be outside. I get to be outside again. So I'm the fuck outside. Like, bro, I left Mr. Turner at like 3:30, 4 o'clock Sunday morning.
I asked him when he got here because he stayed here, and I was like, so what time did you get home? Because I woke up and I saw he called me, and the thing is, they just now are putting my name in the thing. So, but the thing is, this place, it's even here has changed so much, and I was curious because I was like, man, what time did you get home? Because I was like, you may have needed something to get in because of the gate, and he's like the door was open. And I was like, good. I was like, that's great. But like, yeah, you boys look like you were having a doozy. You did. I was kind of jealous. I'm like, man, I'm out in Europe and I'm waking up with a bad hangover.
Did I send you the other pictures?
Nah, I just saw what y'all put on IG.
All right, hold on. I'll send you one real quick.
Oh, our soul sister Courtney George is going live, by the way.
We got to get her. We got to get her back on here.
I want her to talk her shit, whatever she's doing on live right now. Not right now, but
yeah, I want her to come on here and do it.
Well, and you know, you probably have the capabilities to even set it up to where her IG does it. Even crazy.
I can definitely do that if she's willing to
give
do
you
that.
like her password.
Okay,
I see a picture here. Oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, because you guys, I see who you're out with. I know, obviously, Jam, and then what's her face? I know her too, but yeah. Well, AUC Sparkhouse.
Hey, so let me tell you a funny story about that. Jam was like, yeah, when Julian said Adam was coming out, I was like, oh, you talking about the nigga who be saying crazy shit? And I was like, damn, when did I meet you? And apparently we met at most recently at the party at your house before Blank's wedding.
Okay. I guess I'm sure she was probably there.
And she was talking to me. I was like, I said some crazy shit that night because I felt like I was on decent behavior that night because I was supervised.
You guys left early, and I'm thinking
Well,
maybe.
yeah. That also came up in the conversation too. But like, I was like, dang, I was saying crazy shit, and I wasn't there by myself. That's insane.
Doesn't sound right.
Do that.
Doesn't sound right.
It didn't, but like when she said it, I was like, that. I mean, that aligns with my character. So you heard it somewhere.
Well, Lee, you're making it sound like she was saying that, or your response to her by saying that was, that's just some yay shit, basically. But you're like, that's just some Lee shit.
Hey, look, I have a track record of getting away with saying things that most people can't walk back.
Are you saying you're controversial?
I can be. When I'm actually being honest and being myself now, when I like put up my filters and stuff, no, I'm not controversial. I don't even have stances, but like when I'm actually being myself and telling my truth.
Yeah. I'm listening to you, but I clicked on KG's story and somebody commented, hello, I'm going to say exactly the way it's spelled out. Hello, can I need a Visa America? Can you help, please? My nigga's trying to Zelle all the money he can to get into the country. He knows the shit's about to turn upside down. And so
ain't about to. I already have.
Get in soon. Like, I got to do it now.
Essentially. Parlay Pete, do you think that Matt Stafford leaves the Rams? And if he does, do you think Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams link up with Puka Nacua and Kyron Williams and the Rams go on another run?
In theory, I really do like it. In theory, but I liked everything that the Jets did in theory, and it didn't work out. I think Aaron Rodgers this year, he didn't get the slack he kind of maybe deserved, but the Jets were so bad. I spoke about
and they had Ulbrich running the operation.
I spoke about this, and there was a game they cost me $75K. They lost to the Patriots, and like it was the most ridiculous shit ever. They were up a lot of different stuff. But that shit was indicative of what their season was. Same thing with the team like the Bengals, too. They lost the Patriots to start the year. It was indicative of what their season was. Inconsistent team that can't that has these pieces but isn't winning games. And so the idea is that he was also coming off of an injury. That he is old, but there were flashes. Statistically, he was Patrick Mahomes this past year. So my thought is in a McVay offense in California, where he's from, with Tay Adams and Puka. Puka's better receiver than Garrett Wilson. And newsflash, I hate to tell it to people like that. Nothing wrong with Garrett Wilson. I'm not saying Garrett Wilson's not good, but Puka Nacua is better than him. So if you put Aaron Rodgers in a McVay offense with Tay Adams, with Kyron Williams in L.A., in that division, the 49ers don't look so mighty anymore. They were the best. They had the best chance of knocking the Eagles off this year with Stafford. And Aaron Rodgers is a clutcher player than Matt Stafford still.
Some would say Matt Stafford's the better player.
Aaron Rodgers is a clutcher player. So in the big moments, I trust him more.
I think Matt Stafford has more come behind wins than Aaron Rodgers.
I saw Aaron Rodgers throw one of those Hail Marys again this year before the half. This is what I'm trying to say.
Look here. Parlay Pete, before you even say what you want to say, I watch Aaron Rodgers throw the football. And shout out to Patrick Mahomes. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. Shout out to Lamar Jackson. Shout out to Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. It's just certain shit that 12, I'm going to call him 12. I don't give a fuck if he was just wearing 8. It's certain shit that 12 do that nobody can do, and he still can do it. Like that back leg, sidearm, cross body shit that he does that looks effortless, but you know that motherfucker is a 100-mile-per-hour bullet on target. You just keep Aaron protected. He could be a top 7 quarterback next year.
I do too. I mean, I believe that. Like, I believe that too. I just think that, especially with McVay,
And Aaron's already paid.
Two MVPs with LaFleur.
And we don't think LaFleur is great. He's like McVay's like.
He's good. He's good, obviously, but like, yeah. McVay's the only Super Bowl champion from that tree.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know Shanahan's been to 2, but he lost them. So, you know, and then lost it as the OC, obviously, here. But, like, I don't know. It's a perfect setup. Their defense, similar to the Eagles, is pretty young.
Yep.
They're in L.A., so getting free agents ain't going to be an issue there.
They draft guys.
If Aaron says, I've got 1 year or 2, literally, I'm either going to do 1 or 2, there are going to be guys that'll sign up to join him. And I like it. I do like it. I think that the Rams are ready to move on from Stafford. That's what I think. I think that they think that he wants too much money, and they know that they can win and get especially if Aaron Rodgers, that bait media shit that got put out there by him even saying that, it's really a precursor to what's going to happen.
Yeah, man, I'm with you. I think that McVay is so confident in himself that he doesn't want to dedicate a certain percentage of his salary cap to an aging quarterback. Don't get me wrong. Matthew Stafford is talented, uber talented. I think that Matthew Stafford doesn't get the respect that he deserves as a talent because he spent a lot of that time in Detroit, and he was carrying it. He was carrying the cripple to a bronze medal in the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, he's not a winner, but it's like this nigga, he got another grown man on his back running 100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's still like finishing close to the top. Like, this nigga's still 5. So I think McVay is just like, hey, dog, you old, and we don't want to pay you that much money because, yeah, you good. But like the scheme is doing a lot of this.
Well, we already got what we needed out of you anyways. We won the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So if Aaron's gonna get cut and we can pay him league minimum, and then we can trade a 4 for Devontae Adams or a 5 for Devontae Adams and just eat some extra salary. And now we got Aaron and Puka as his number 1. But Tay is really the number 1 because I think Aaron and Tay with a full offseason together going into a season, that chemistry makes Tay better than he would be with anybody else.
And they'll be able to get a 3 from like the Commanders for Cup.
Yeah.
To add more to the team. Who knows? Maybe you draft Dart or something in the third round to be the guy under Aaron for a couple of years. Or a year.
Hey, you know, that's funny. The thing you bring up about Dart, because I do want to circle back to where, you know, maybe if Sam Darnold leaves where it makes sense for him to go. But I was listening to Albert Breer and Ryan Russillo talk today, and they talked about there being no such thing as a second-round quarterback anymore. Because the idea was, even if you have a second-round grade on the guy, you still see him as a franchise player. So you might as well go ahead and take him in the first, because if he's a franchise player, you grab him in the first. And also for the quarterback, you can get that 5th-year option.
Well, here's the thing, too, though, when it comes to that.
I'm about to use the bathroom.
Okay. Here's the thing, too, though. If you look at it, you can say to yourself, well, I don't know. The team can set itself up for success, right? And taking a quarterback early is not only a commitment financially, but it also just sets up for how you want the team to be built out. And if you can get a guy in the second round, whether he's a second round grade or not, but he's going to be your franchise, there's so many different ways that you can look at this. And so I guess the way that what I'm trying to say, just in general, if a guy like Jackson Dart is here in the second round, you take him, right? Like if you know you need a quarterback, you're going to take a guy like that. And so it typically is something that teams do overdraft, and they will draft a guy too early. We saw it with EJ Manuel with the Bills. There was only one. He was the only quarterback taken that year, and that is so rare, right, in the NFL. You see a guy get drafted in the first round, and his draft grade really isn't reflective of how good he is. And in the case of like somebody like EJ Manuel, he only went in the first round because he was considered the best quarterback. It wasn't one of these things where he was really a first-round grade. It was just the need for quarterback in that position. And so
talking about like Ken Pickett too?
Yeah, because that pretty much is what happened that year too, when you really look at it.
It happened with Kenneth Pickett. It happened with even Desmond Ridder going in the third round.
Yeah. He only went because they were like, all right. There were some people talking about him going in the first round or even second. He's here in the third. We do need a quarterback. Let's kick the tires on him.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, it's one of those things. I hate that there are no longer second round quarterbacks. Because some of these guys are second rounders. They deserve second round money. And you as a franchise should take the better player in the first round and then grab that quarterback in the second round. And if he hasn't proven anything by year 3, you either move on or you let him play it out on year 4. I don't understand why teams are so afraid to have players play on their last year of their contract.
Because you don't want to be in a Jamar Chase situation this year.
Well, here's the thing. That was mismanaged.
They could have paid him.
Well, yeah.
Now they're talking about him getting 40. Like 10 million more.
But I'm saying they mismanaged that in the sense that I'm speaking from an evaluation point of view, that if you don't know, like I think if you're going to bench a guy for a full year, you're going to bench him for a year, then yeah, you grab him in the first and stash him. But if you think he might be able to start in year 1, if he's a second round guy, draft him in the fucking second round. Right. Because the problem with Jamar Chase was everybody knew after his rookie year he's getting paid.
Right.
So how early can I pay you? Because the earlier I pay you, no one else has reset the market.
Right.
But the Bengals are cash cheap or cash poor.
As they always have been.
So they couldn't do that. And now they're talking about what? Franchising T again and then paying Jamar?
Right.
Nigga, you should have moved off of T last year. Could have got a 2 for him. And then sign Jamar over the summer. Or if you wanted to sign both, sign T last summer, bring Jamar back and say, hey, Jamar, we're going to pay you. But what we're going to do is we're going to give T and Joe some money now. Restructure them. And then pay you. Because all you got to do is go to T and Joe together. Put them in the office together.
Right.
Hey, man, we're trying to get Jamar. Here's the dollar figure that I need y'all to allow us to play with. But we got you. We're like, I just need y'all to convert this into a bonus. And we're going to get y'all on the back end. And apparently that didn't happen. Because you know who would have got this right? Because he's shown that he's gotten it right?
Who?
Howie fucking Roseman.
You mean GOAT?
I mean, Jalen got paid. AJ Brown got paid.
Yeah, but
Devontae Smith got paid. The line's getting paid. The defense is getting paid.
You mean GOAT, though?
He really is the best GM in the league, isn't he?
He is, and it's not even funny.
No, like
he was really close. Name the second best GM in the NFL.
He's who we want. What's my guy in OKC?
Terry. No.
God, no. OKC. Hey Siri, who's Oklahoma City Thunder's general manager?
Oh, Sam Presti.
Sam Presti, yeah. We want like Howie or Presti is Howie without the ring. like the guy who just keeps building good teams. Like I remember having a conversation earlier this week with a friend, and we were talking a little bit about OKC, and she was talking about like their relevance and stuff. And I go, bro, since they moved to OKC, they've been good. Like they've had the softest resets. Yeah, when they lost KD, they were no longer a contender, but they were a playoff team. And then they got Paul George the next year. Even though they got put out in the first round, Paul George was a top 3 MVP candidate because he was
correct.
balling. And okay, they move off of Paul George. They get Chris Paul in for a year, and they get Chris Paul and SGA in. They figured it out. They still make the playoffs. It's like a 4 or 5 seed. And then Chris Paul leaves, and now they're arguably the best team in the league. Presti just keeps making it happen, and he just hasn't won a ring. And maybe he is Howie before Howie won the ring, because Howie's been doing what he's been doing for a long time.
Correct. He's been there. He's been there since Andy Reid. So I mean,
yeah. So it hasn't resulted in a championship, but it's not like Howie puts together
Eagles,
bad teams.
How often are the Eagles not good?
Hardly ever. And when they're not good, it's
Andy Reid had like 1-4-12 year. Like, I mean, their bad years were 8-8, 7-9. Those were the bad years.
And when they're terrible, it's blatantly obvious they're going to be bad. You know, like they don't start a season. Yeah, like when they were like 2 years ago, they started off 10-1 and they disappoint in the playoffs. And people are calling for Sirianni's job, and you go, I mean, the nigga still won 11 games. Like, I get it. He lost the division that he shouldn't have lost, but they were still good.
And let's not act like too. I mean, the Cowboys have had a very talented, regardless of if they're real contenders or not. They've always had a really talented team. Jerry, if there's one thing he does well, he drafts well. So you always have this team in your division that will always be talent heavy. Like they're pretty much, as long as they have a quarterback, they've always been a talented team.
Yeah.
And so they're the most valuable sports franchise in the world. Like,
and even this past year, Dallas won 7-8 games.
Yeah, and Dak got hurt in the game against us, and that was like week 7. So
yeah, like they were frisky all year.
Yeah, they beat Tampa. It was a huge game because that was a big game for us. I mean, that was supposed to be what turned it around, but then we lost the Commanders. But
Coach Ra, he doesn't have a mustache, and as a man, I don't really understand how you walk around this world without a fucking mustache. It's weird.
Hey, he's Jeezy, bro. Jeezy didn't have a mustache. Like that didn't make him any less of a team, 101 guy. Like,
you mean a CTE guy?
CTE, yeah, that too. I mean, he's still corporate thugging.
Hey, Stafford linked up with Brady in Montana. What's up with these rich niggas living in Montana?
Montana's a great place. I've been. I love Montana. It's awesome. It really is.
JP said something about houses in DR for $80,000. I might try to buy one.
I don't even know what JP was doing. And I know we're not going to get into that on here, but
hey, I've been thinking about when I'm going to have a party soon.
Okay.
You understand why I'd have a party, right?
Yeah. I know why. Yeah.
I was thinking DR would be the location for that.
Well, you just give me a date, but I've never been to the DR either. Been a couple.
I can't get a date right now, but once I can, I'm thinking like 3 days in DR. I'm
leave Thursday, come back Monday.
Yeah, or go on a long weekend and leave Friday and come back like Monday morning type shit. Like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying, like a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, like I don't
leave Thursday, you get there Thursday night, you have all day Friday, all day Saturday, Sunday as well, or you can leave Sunday night or leave Monday morning. Like
Parlay Pete.
Yeah.
If we show up somewhere Thursday night, what we're doing.
Well, you got to get things kicked off the right way.
We might.
Wait. When the NFL puts on a big game, right? Not just the Super Bowl, but any game on Sunday, what's the first thing you do to kick it off right?
pregame.
But what happens in the pregame? What gets to Americans in that pregame?
Booze.
Yes, but what else? What do they
Women.
kick off their telecast with and stuff?
I don't know.
The
Usually
national fucking anthem. You get everybody in that motherfucker gets fired up when they hear that national anthem in the home of the brave, because everybody sits up and they think about, especially in America, it gets you fired up. Though it's like, we are so blessed to be able to watch this game today. Like, and it gets the juices flowing. It doesn't matter who you're cheering for.
You said home of the brave?
Land of the free, home of the brave.
I'm talking about home of the Braves, baby.
Oh, well, yes, but I'm just bringing it. I'm saying in terms of DR.
Well, yeah.
I'm saying before the game starts. You're saying what we do Thursday. I'm like, oh, we're doing the national anthem at that point.
Well, Thursday
of what that is, it gets everybody fired up about what's about to happen in the next 4 quarters, and in our case, the next 3-4 days.
Thursday is the day that everybody lands and possibly doesn't shower and goes out in sweatpants.
Mm-hmm.
And the night is more fun.
Because it's nighttime, too. So, like, it's not sunny. We didn't get to go to the beach and stuff.
Yeah, no, the night ends up being more fun than we planned. Like, you remember night 1 of Boink's bachelor party, how we ended up in the club and in the strip club, but we didn't plan on going to the strip club?
Yeah.
But, like, it was just, like, me, you, and Boink, and we ended up having, like, what was it, me, you, Boink, and Josh? Or just me, you, and Boink?
I think it was just us, because we went to eat first. We found that.
Then we went to the club, and we ended up in the strip club, and it was like, that wasn't on the docket. That's a Friday night in DR.
Yeah, you're kicking it off right. This is what I'm saying. We're going to kick it off the right way.
Hey, you know what? You know what I love about this show?
Ooh. By the way, Shaden Sharp might have had the dunk of the year tonight.
You're just seeing it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that was
that shit back so far.
Now I looked at it and I was just like, hey, man, don't dunk on me like this.
But you know what? No offense to the guy he dunked on. He caught that shit off a steal, and he couldn't even brace for it. In reality, like the movement, everything just went too fast. And I'm looking at it. It popped up. And honestly, I mean, I'm listening to you, but like I see it and I'm like, oh my God, because it said dunk of the year. Bleacher Report says maybe the dunk of the year. And I see it and I'm like, oh my God, he really did catch this nigga like something serious. Oh, that's nasty. But go ahead.
No, I saw it.
He got all of it too. Like he got
it. No. Yeah, no, that was. It wasn't no throw in. It was he cocked it and he slammed it.
And it was immediate contact too while he was doing it. Like this nigga, he defended it. He had his forearm, and he said no.
Hey, did you hear recently Vince Carter talked about when he dunked on Alonzo Mourning? You know the dunk I'm talking about.
Yeah, they were showing it all before the dunk contest. Yeah, because they did a top 10 countdown of his in-game dunks that didn't include the Olympic one, and that was his. Either if it wasn't number 1, it was number 2.
I mean, Vince Carter has some amazing in-game dunks, but like he talked about like the way it happened, because you know, like Zoe talking that nonsense. He talked that noise, and he said when it happened, he ran in there, and then when he made contact with Zoe, it pushed him higher. And he dunked on him, and he said that their relationship changed after that. And Zoe said it didn't, but I don't believe Zoe. So I'm gonna tell you, Parlay Pete, you're one of my best friends in the world. Like, you know, if I have a wedding, you're gonna be in a tuxedo.
Of course, and same to you. I mean, obviously, but
dog, if you dunked on me like that, our friendship ain't the same.
It's because some of it is, and it's never. I mean, it's sport, right? Literally, it's sport.
It's my male ego.
but there's nothing you can do about it, right? And something like that, those type of moments seem a little bit personal. Because think about it, if you dunk on somebody, you're going up there, pause, with as much force as you can.
Have you ever dunked on anybody? Have you ever dunked on anybody?
No, absolutely not. I caught a dunk. You know what? It's so crazy. It's still a tweet that I have to this day. Latana threw me an oop at Morehouse. We were working out at Morehouse in the summer. Coach Brewer let us. No, seriously, Mount Vernon. Like they let us go up there. We were working out. Like John Tassin. I played against them. I'm talking not the summer I met everybody. I'm talking about heading into our senior year. I caught an alley-oop at Forbes.
I missed the dunk in Forbes, but I've dunked on a person or two in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I caught a dude nasty in San Diego, and it's actually the last time I dunked on a person. Because I used to hoop at San Diego State, and the goals at San Diego State were like 9-10. And, I kind of built up a reputation out there, coming out there hooping, slashing, playing DeMar DeRozan style basketball, early, like USC DeMar DeRozan, midi, athletic at the cup. And it came off the rim, and I caught it. And this is like me peak athleticism, like personal record on the bench press, like working out. Like I'm lifting every day, and I'm hooping like 4 days a week.
Okay.
It comes off the rim, and it's this big 6'4", strong white boy. He go in the gym and really is like, what I'm saying? He ain't eating pre-workout. He biting off baby heads type shit.
By the way, I just sent you the text message. Just look at it real quick. This was the day that we did it at Morehouse. Pause. He tweeted it, though, because, obviously I used to be on Twitter, but I was able to just search my name real quick because I was like, Latana, he tweeted it because it kind of caught a lot of people by surprise. That's the only time I've ever dunked in a game. Like, I've never dunked in a game. I've dunked, niggas will fuck around and travel and be dunking, but, like, I actually caught one in a game one time. It was crazy because I didn't do the signal either. He saw me cutting, and he just threw it up. And I swear to God, but what had happened is I flushed it. It was almost at the rim, but it wasn't an unk. It was nothing like that.
You put it in there, but it was an oop thrown so well that as long as you can grab the rim, you can dunk it. Is what you?
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened. I was surprised. Because I could have just laid it up, but I caught it. It's almost like it caught my hand perfectly, and I just threw it down. It was crazy.
So I caught this putback off the rim, two-hand. And Buddy 6'4", and he puts his shoulder into my knees. So I catch it, and I end up hanging on the rim, not because I'm trying to be disrespectful, but because if I didn't hang on the rim, I fall. So I flush it, I come off the rim, and the initial reaction when you get undercut, I push him.
Yeah.
I push him back, and I swing. I don't connect, and I call him a PAN.
Okay.
And my partner, shout out to my nigga Drew. He was just a nigga I got cool with hooping. He hugs me. He grabbed me. He bear hugged the shit out of me. He a little nigga. He like, chill, bro. They gonna ban you from the gym. So I relaxed, but after that, bro, I stopped trying to dunk on people because this shit was scary. And then I got stupid when I was in Bahrain, and I tried to dunk on Buddy. I was on a fast break, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to flush this bitch. And dude's behind me, he grabs both of my shoulders. So as I'm going up to dunk, he grabbed my shoulders and pulled me out the air. And I land clean, and he get up and try to help me up. And I'm like, hey, bro, get out my face. Get out my face, dog. My adrenaline's too high right now because I was taking off and I got pulled out the air unexpectedly. That shit scared the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Ain't dunked in the game since.
But again, I have to imagine something like that's an adrenaline rush to begin with. I mean, I never, bro, I can't even say not in a game. I've never I've attempted to dunk on somebody because, of course, once you're like, oh, I can dunk, you'll do it, and I'll say, here, somebody come up and try and defend, but like I could be traveling, like just running up with the ball. I never in a game, especially in high school, I never attempted that because A, I didn't want to get pulled, to be honest with you. But like B, pickup was different, of course. Like pickup basketball is a whole different thing. And that's why even then, that's the only time I've ever dunked in a game before. I caught an alley-oop, and it was a two-handed alley-oop too. I got it with two hands. And
so, bro, like I could, when I was 18, I could dunk off the drop step.
See, well, you sound like you can jump higher than me. I mean, like I'm saying, I could dunk, but like the thing is it was, I wasn't a nigga just getting hung or nothing. Like Tars, even my older brother, Tars is shorter than me. He's like, y'all are like the same height. Tars could dunk, but like when you start catching niggas, like if you can catch a nigga, like Latana's different, of course. He's
6'7",
8, 6'7", right?
Yeah.
So him dunking on another nigga, I mean, he does it. The hell, go to his Instagram page. He just does it, right? Like, I mean, he does it now, but like at the same time, like,
shout out to Latana, a loyal supporter of the show.
Yeah, shout outs to Low Obo. Hove did, and like, he when you start dunking in games, like. It was never something. My boy Jordan, actually, he played with us. Mr. Turner is trying to get the pass. He works for Delta now himself. And, like, he dunked in games. Like, it was only a couple of niggas on the team that were dunking in games. Like, it was never – actually, we had a football player on our team, Jalen. Shout outs to Jalen. Jalen was on a show on MTV. He's a model now in Kansas City. He's doing really well. I'm super proud of Jalen. Like, I'm just very proud. And Jalen was like the football player on the team. He ended up playing like Campbell in North Carolina for football. But he was on the team, and like we were blowing a lot of teams out. He dunked in a game, actually. He got one once. They called it travel, but I don't give a fuck. He got it to me because it was a fast break. And what it was is, when you take that dribble and then you like launch, and he did like a two-step, but he's like 6 feet, maybe 5'11" too.
So he couldn't dunk off 1 foot. He was dunking off 2.
He dunked off 2. Yeah.
Yeah. See, he a football player, doesn't know how to do that. And I'll tell you the crazy thing that I learned. Like, it was a guy I hooped with when I was in 6th grade, and he was like, "Bro, you jump higher off 2 feet." So I learned how to be a 2-foot jumper, but I'm naturally a 1-foot jumper. So like
that leap it's almost like a leap. Like
today, I can still dunk today. Off 2 feet? Yeah.
I know I can't fucking dunk at all. Not today. Maybe I can get in better shape to do it, but I can still touch the rim. But like
I can still two-hand hang off the vert.
I don't even remember the last time I did that. I know I can touch the rim. I know I can do that still. But like,
so like when I go to our gym and hoop, when people don't know me in there, I mean, I know you got to fill out the board, but like niggas don't really respect you if they don't know you. So like,
especially at that gym, it's like, if you've ever played with Carl or and see, this is why we just have.
I'm talking about the evening crew though. Like you talking about the morning.
I know they play in the morning too, but like they play in the evening.
So I actually played with the
Carl
evening.
Or Keith. If you ever see Carl or Keith, just if you ever see their name on the board, those are the OGs up there. Those are the guys I know. I know Carl and Keith. They helped coach, not Colin, but my brother. They know Colin, like obviously too, but like Carl or Keith, the next time you're up there, seriously, look for them. If you know them, tell them that you know Hodges. They know who they might not remember my first name, but like they know Hodges. So they know who we are. But like
hey,
those are really the OGs of the court. Like they are the OGs
we need to go in there together because I really be going in there on my angry nigga shit because don't nobody know me, and like I don't hoop on a regular. And then like I remember I was in there one day and
what are you doing this weekend?
Shit, nothing.
I could probably set it up. Donna still has a membership too. I have to show up with you. I'm gonna sign up for mine anyways, but like,
yeah, bro,
if I can come in with you as a guest,
we can go in Saturday morning.
Saturday low key.
Yeah, getting there about 10:30, 11. That's when they usually show up.
I'm down to play.
Oh, because I'll tell you, bro, I went in there and like my name got scratched off the board. Cause like I wasn't paying attention, but I was like, oh, I don't like this. I feel disrespected. And then like I get out there and niggas don't know me. So niggas
scratched off Adam. They're like, who the fuck's Adam?
Yeah, bro. I didn't like that. So we wouldn't get a dub. And then this one nigga, he go try to do some crazy one-handed finger roll over top of me. Pause. Oh, nigga, I sent that shit. I said, because what I've also learned is not many people talk nigga shit out there. Like, it's very respectful. And I was like, hell no, fuck nigga, he with us. Fuck wrong with him. I was like, hey, and then I whispered to him, I was like, hey, dog, don't ever disrespect me like that again, dog. I got bounced. Nigga, I'm sending that shit every time.
See, and you're still in such relatively good shape. Like I used to, when the last time I played up there was probably like a year and a half, 2 years ago. I think I sent the video to the group too. Donis, we played together, like on the same team and stuff, and we went up there and played. But like, so I stopped getting into, because there's one side of the court, of course, that is much more competitive.
Yeah.
Then there's the other side that's more exercise.
Nah, I'm there competing. I'm out there trying to catch that bitch on the elbow.
I'm not even gonna say. We played on the competitive side, but like the thing is that for me now, I'm almost more into just the exercise aspect of it to begin with, because I still want to win, but like I'm not gonna say my competitive juice is gone. I wish, like, I wanted us to beat when we were in Tampa. I wanted to beat fucking Jew, because they talked like a lot of this shit. And the funny thing is that we played basketball at PSP, and they knew that I know how to play basketball. But everybody wants to like try and disrespect as if I'm not good, like as if I don't know how to play ball or something.
That game was such bullshit because we was playing outside, and I'll blow by Josh Hosey, and then he wraps me up, and it's like, okay, I can't go to the basket.
It just would have been different in a gym to begin. I just don't understand. That's why I wanted to find a gym. I'm not upset that we played outside. They won. Good for them.
No. I'm upset because it was windy and a nigga's jumper was off, and every time I went to the basket,
it was a small backboard type thing situation too.
Damn the backboard. Every time I went to the basket, I got wrapped up, so I couldn't go to the basket. Like it's damn near a turnover. Yeah, you get the ball back, but like,
and they had gambles. So whether it's me or you on them, gambles is like just fucking like throwing his back on people. And Gambles is a big dude, and that's basketball. I get that, but like,
fuck that.
In that type of game, in those conditions, and with that ball and on that type of court, he has an advantage because he's literally, if you're not getting up there and just blocking his shot,
layup.
He bodies me enough, and I'm heavier now than I was when I really was playing. So like, I'm used to, like, I can kind of hold it a lot better than I used to, but I'm a guard. So like, Gambles he's just literally using his body and throwing the shit off the glass. And like, it's effective in that environment. Like, it works there because his thighs and shit are so big. Like, Gambles is bigger than I.
No, bro. Damn his thigh. As somebody who guarded him most of that day, it was his back.
That's what I'm saying. He's
like,
bigger.
He's got a wide back.
Is he not bigger than like he appears?
He's more
strong.
Athletic. He's more athletic and coordinated than he appears. Like, I expected the strength. I didn't expect the coordination. So early on, it was I'm playing behind him and I want him to shoot. And I go, this nigga got a soft touch at the rim.
His thighs are big as shit too, though. Like
Yeah, he's a big son of a bitch and he's heavy.
Yeah,
Like,
him is like 250.
Hold on, Parlay Pete. Nobody cares about us talking basketball. If we're talking about our basketball, let's talk about the.
Understand, but
let's talk about
like 250.
He is. Let's talk about the Luka Lakers. So we saw against Denver, the Lakers played some crazy defense, and we saw Luka just have the night of his life. But then yesterday against Dallas, we saw Luka have the triple double. He kind of had the keys early, and then LeBron shut it down in the fourth quarter. So, question for you, Parlay Pete: is Luka Doncic the best second option in NBA history?
Oh man, yeah. And when you asked this earlier, he's not a second option. Let's start there. But
what is he? Because in the fourth quarter, it was the LeBron show.
It was one game against a team that they were better than. But the thing is, no, I don't think that if you want to label him as that, sure. But that's why he's not one. So to answer your question directly, yeah, he would be considered that if he's considered that. But I don't think he's considered that. So, like, it's a 1A, 1B. I think that, and I told you this too, to where I was like, it really isn't that far-fetched to think the Lakers can go. It really isn't.
They can win the ship this year.
I really wish they had a better center. I know Jackson Hayes is
that Mark Williams hurt.
He was a top 10 pick, but even if they got Mark Williams, like,
I'm just saying it hurt. I didn't say it's gonna make or break the season, but it hurt. That's 16.
He's a scoring big man. He could catch the lob still and stuff.
Hey, Detroit beat Boston by 20, by the way.
They won 8 in a row. They haven't lost a game. Everybody was talking about the record that the Lakers had with Luka and the Warriors had with Jimmy. Nobody talks about Dennis Schroeder and the Pistons. They're 8-0 since he got there.
But, I'll tell you what I loved about Luka LeBron. Their two-man game and the fact that Luka can relegate LeBron to the corner and he can be an off-ball player who actually respects what's going on and be an off-ball player is crazy. And the fact that he has more energy to play real defense, like LeBron was playing defense yesterday. Luka was playing defense yesterday. And I think what we did not put into our calculus of how this LeBron-Luka thing works, both of them become better defenders because they can take breaks on offense.
Yeah.
And they can sit on the bench longer if necessary because you got a top 10 all-time decision maker with their hands in the ball, on the ball. You know what I mean?
Right. I just think that, if this is the real question that we should ask, is this the best technically? I'm not trying to give it too much praise, but is this technically really the best teammate LeBron's ever played with? Yeah,
LeBron has never had a top 3 NBA player as a teammate in their prime on his team. D Wade was good, but D Wade, his health was so up and down that he was not Flash every day in Miami. And I'm not sure if Flash at his best is Luka Doncic good. It's hard.
Well, I think that when he even caught D Wade, that first year that they went was really kind of the end of D Wade being a 25 a game guy. He was still a good player. He just wasn't. It was the back end of the prime. Does that make sense?
And Luka's on the front end of the prime.
You're right. Well, we don't think that Luka maybe has even played his best basketball yet. D Wade's best basketball was behind him when LeBron got there.
Hey, but Parlay Pete, did you watch their two-man game last night?
I only saw a little bit of the game. I was busy as fuck. But
hey, it's filthy seeing Luka doing his work, pick and roll, get the switch, hand it to pass it to LeBron. LeBron do his little give it back to Luka, and then one of them kills, or then Austin Reeves, who Austin Reeves is having a quiet 20 points per game, and his production's not suffering now that Luka's on the team. I think it's safe to say that nigga Austin Reeves is fine.
He is. Austin Reeves would be a bad team as DeMarcus Cousins or Swaggy P and McCants were saying. Austin Reeves is a guy that would be on a bad team averaging 25 a game.
Well,
And
because
25, 7, and 6. Like he'd be one of those guys on a bad.
Austin Reeves on a bad team is an all-star.
Well, he'd be a snub. I don't think he'd be an all-star because LaMelo doesn't make.
Well, that's really what I mean.
I don't think he's better than him. But I'm just saying, if he played on who's a really bad team? Let's say he played on the Bulls right now. Austin Reeves would be the best player on the Bulls, and he'd be 25, 7, 6.
Hey, Colin Cowherd and Jason McIntyre were talking about like the most popular players in the major markets. And McIntyre brought up James Harden. He was like, bro, you didn't put Harden on your top 12 list. Like this nigga had Jim Harbaugh at like number 4. But he like most famous niggas in major markets. And he didn't even have Harden on there. And Jason McIntyre was like, yo, Harden, if he hopped on the elevator, he's getting stopped. If Juan Soto hops on this elevator, niggas ain't gonna know him. But then that conversation turned into niggas saying that Austin Reeves is better than James Harden.
Today, I still wouldn't take him over. No. Well, I'm just saying today I wouldn't.
James Harden, James Harden was an all-star
over Russell Westbrook today.
James Harden was an all-star this year.
That's what I'm saying. So like that isn't fair.
He's still James Harden.
If you were the Clippers, would you consider a Norman Powell for Austin Reeves straight up deal, for instance?
No. Norman Powell's averaging 24.
If I was the Clippers, I would do it. But if I'm the Lakers, I probably wouldn't. I think he's better than Norman Powell.
I think
he's a better player.
I wouldn't do it.
He doesn't score as many points. I'm just saying, but he's a better player.
I know what you're saying, but like Austin Reeves is an anomaly for an American white guy. Because like
everything JJ Redick wishes he would have been.
Because now Austin Reeves is 6'5", and he goes out there and gets a bucket. He's like
JJ Redick was like 6'4".
But JJ Redick was a catch and shoot guy coming off the screen.
He was. His game is different, but like
Austin Reeves is
everything that. And JJ Redick was the great white hope. Like before Tyler Hansborough maybe they played each other once, maybe, but like JJ Redick used to be the great white hope of college basketball. He played at Duke. He was the best player in the country. I mean, I like Adam Morrison more personally.
Well, because your basketball eye is not as good as most.
Adam Morrison was great at fucking Gonzaga. He was.
Yeah, but he wasn't JJ Redick in the ACC.
Yeah, but they were the same year, and I'm pretty sure they both won different national players.
Yeah, but JJ Redick was better.
I don't think so. I thought Adam Morrison was the better player during that.
I mean, the careers were what they were, and I think JJ had the better career as a player.
Sounds like East Coast biases to me, but I mean,
look, I watched JJ.
He did it in the ACC. I get it, and he's putting up. What did JJ average? Probably 24 at Duke. One of his best seasons, he's probably 24 a night.
I think it was Josh Hart fucked you today, huh?
You said who?
Josh Hart fucked you today?
Oh, you just saw the text.
Yeah.
Look at what I bet on.
I'll get back to that.
He had to have 11 rebounds for me to lose. This nigga had 17 fucking rebounds with Cat, fucking OG Anunoby. Like, there's like all these niggas in. And I know he's a really good rebounding kind of guard forward thing, but like, he had to get 11 rebounds tonight, and this nigga got. And think about what that. Look at what it cost.
Hey, let me tell you. Hold on. Let me give you JJ Redick's scoring splits. Freshman year 15, sophomore year 16, junior year 22, senior year 27.
That's why I didn't even realize it was 27, but that's why I was like, what is he, 24? Like that was kind of like the number, because in college, you don't get too many 30-point guys. Like I guess I think Steph Curry, I think did average 30 his senior year, but like,
let's look it up.
When Davidson made the Elite Eight, and then everybody found out about Steph Curry, but Jimmer Fredette might have been a 30 ball at BYU. He might have been another nigga that did 30. Melo in his 1 year at Syracuse was probably 24, 23, something like that, 22.
Steph Curry's best year at Davidson, Steph Curry at Davidson, his 3 years, 22, 26, 29.
All right, so yeah, 30 basically.
Yeah. Oh, it was 28.5 or some shit like that.
Still, 30. We'll just give him 30. I'm just going to give it to him. And I know you said that a nigga that averages, because we talked about this with the McCants, what they were talking about, a nigga that averages 30 versus it being a real 30. And we talked about Gil. And that's why I was like, Gil averaged like 30, but it was 29. And Kobe averaged 35 a year. That's why I was like, Gil didn't lead the league in scoring, but he did it the year that Kobe, had his greatest scoring average season. So, but there's a lot of guys. Look up Adam Morrison. Can you look up Adam Morrison real quick?
Yeah. Melo averaged 22 at Syracuse. Adam Morrison. Let me look it up real quick. They said Adam Morrison.
Such a dog. And he was awkward on the Lakers, but he won rings with Kobe. But like, he was such an awkward dude. He got drafted by Michael Jordan. He was the 3rd pick. His last year Gonzaga, he averaged 28.1. Yeah, man, he was a bucket. He used to get the ball. I mean, he put the ball in the hole too. And
he averaged 11, 19, and 28.
Yeah, he was a bucket that year, his last year. Like, I mean,
he was in the league. His eyes average was 12.
I was gonna say it maybe early with the Bobcats, because with the Lakers he was probably like 4, 3.
No, 1.3 the first year, 2.4 the second year.
Yeah, so he didn't. I mean, he was getting the bad minutes, and he might get a layup or something in the game.
Yeah, but goddamn, LeBron and Luka, they're looking great together. Did you see the side by side of LeBron stats this year next to Derrick Rose's MVP year stats?
I did not.
LeBron is putting up pretty much like 25, 8, and 7, which are better numbers than Derrick Rose's MVP year. Now, don't get me wrong, different league, but think about Derrick Rose did that and won an MVP, and LeBron's not close to the MVP conversation today.
Derrick Rose was a very good player in his time, in his prime. He was low-key sicker at Memphis. But like,
okay,
if we're really breaking it down, his legacy gets more overrated than anyone's. And this is why I say this. As somebody that saw him in his prime, just like you, Russell Westbrook is like a way better player than him. Like, if Russell Westbrook got hurt, I would think Russell Westbrook was the better player.
Okay.
But they played this similar explosiveness. They weren't the same type of game, but do you feel what I'm saying in terms of why?
Yeah. Athletic score first point guard. Yeah.
I didn't think that Derrick Rose was all that. I mean, he was good, but like, I'm saying Luol Deng, Joakim Noah, Kirk Heinrich, Taj Gibson. I look at those Bulls teams, and like, they got the number 1 seed that year. He got hurt in that playoff game. They do the one of the first memes for Twitter is the Simba like wake up over. Yeah, and like it was him when he got hurt in that series and the Sixers won. Jrue Holiday won that series, and I guess my thought for Derrick Rose was always this. I think that he definitely deserved to be appreciated as a player, but when anyone brings up like his MVP seasons, it's one of the weaker MVPs that they've had in the league in reality. Not because he wasn't a top 5 player at the time, but he just there's always been to me a positive biasness towards Derrick Rose in the NBA.
Agreed.
I think he's a good player. I'm just saying, I never thought that he was that fucking good. And especially with Russell Westbrook that follows right behind him, literally like right behind him. Russell Westbrook is somebody that, because he hasn't won, gets so much hate. That 1 year he played with the Wizards when he broke the triple-double thing, that nigga averaged 22, 11, and 11 that year. And like,
I thought John Wall was a better player in their prime.
He's a good comparison too for Derrick Rose.
But again, that's my bias because
they're kind of the same type of player, though. Like
I just like John Wall as the big point guard with the bounce, who was 20 and 10.
But you want to know who follows in those footsteps? Who that is today?
Who?
Kate Cunningham. He's a little bit taller, obviously, but like Kate Cunningham is like the same player that they are.
No, I don't think he's that athletic.
I'm not saying he's like as athletic. I'm saying in terms of like not the mold. Like he's more. I view them the same. Not just. I'm not saying the style. I just view their lot in life in the league the same.
Oh, a really good point guard that
on a team that's never going to win. And now, I mean, it's year 3 for him. So, like, it's kind of breaking through. They're going to be a playoff team this year. But, like, who's their coach now? Who's Detroit's coach?
JB Bickerstaff.
All right. So, they get Cleveland's coach. Good. Bickerstaff took over the Lakers with the Dwight Howard team. He coached those games before Phil didn't come back, before they hired Mike Brown. They fired D'Antoni. Or, no, they fired Brown, then D'Antoni. But, like, Bickerstaff, Cleveland teams, first round exit, type thing. Yeah. But they have that team that's put together there. They've won 8 in a row now. And like, that is a team that he's good. They've got a nice mix of like kind of talent there. Like Jalen Duran's a pretty solid big. Like he's like in a Yeka Kongu here. Like they're like kind of like these same type of players. Tobias Harris, he's getting the last laugh because he's
hey. I don't want a Detroit deep dive, bro. Nobody.
I'm not. Detroit basketball is not alive.
I mean, you're talking about
more than watch them have a playoff game in Detroit.
I wanted to talk to you about the Lakers and Luka, and what do you see that franchise being this year moving forward with LeBron and Luka, and what the Lakers could ultimately be?
Well,
we'll talk about Detroit.
As you know, I'm a big Lakers fan.
Yeah, I know, but you're more of a Kobe fan, Lakers fan.
I know, but I still cheer for the Lakers. Like, I want the Lakers to do that. Is my favorite team still. But like, yeah, of course I want the Hawks to do it. But like at the same time, when they got Luka that night, and I called you, the first thing I thought was obviously it wasn't real, but like at the same time, I did look at the basketball fit of it. And my thought was always this: Luka is a 6'6", 6'7", 6'5" on the low end.
He's like 6'7", 6'9" in shoes type nigga.
So he's a big guard. He's really a point forward, just like LeBron. But LeBron is in a position now where one of the things that I respect about LeBron James, aside from the night that he did what he did to Detroit, that was the first night that I really got, like, LeBron earned my respect. Like, I always thought he was something. At the time, when I was younger, because that's like 2005, I thought he was, or no, it was 06, 07. I thought he was a little overrated. But my thing is this.
Your basketball eye is not the best.
No, because he didn't get better. I didn't see any progression. His game definitely got better because now he can shoot. He used to couldn't shoot.
Hey, because your basketball eye is not the best. It's okay.
He couldn't fucking shoot, Lee. Like that was always LeBron's issue. He couldn't shoot.
Doesn't change my stance.
Okay, he couldn't shoot. That won't change my stance. He couldn't shoot. He couldn't fucking shoot. That used to be like, and he never improved. He still is not really a good free throw shooter, but
average 27 on the career, man. More points than anybody, but
LeBron's got to be like a 73, 74% career guy. He's
still scores more points efficiently than anybody else. So
sure, because if he can get to the basket, the closer you get to the basket, right, a high percentage, low percentage shot, he
sounds good, man.
I'm just saying. But the thing is, with a guy like Luka, though, it makes it to where you got this other player that can do a lot of things you do that isn't as like even Luka's still isn't as athletic as LeBron today, but like Luka can shoot the ball, he can distribute the ball, he can use his body in the post, he has moves, he can hop off the leg, he can do the Dirk shit. Like he is with both of them. It is kind of like, well, pick your poison. Who do you want to have tonight? That is the thing that they have going for them. And the idea that there isn't a front runner. I didn't get to watch because I was overseas. I didn't get to watch the game against Denver. But I know Luka led them in all categories that night. You're talking about the Mavericks game. What about the team that they've been having troubles with the best player in the NBA? They go in there.
Well,
wait. They go in there. They beat them by 23. Luka has a 30, like 12-7 game or something. Has a couple blocks, couple steals. Like he led them in every category. They did it against a team. I went to the fucking Lakers game in Denver last year. And like that's been the hump a little bit for them. So that's a confidence booster. It's a regular season game, but it's a confidence booster to beat a team that have the Nuggets have been like they're playing well.
Do you think the Lakers can win a championship with this team?
I think they really do need they need another a good big.
So who could exploit that in the playoffs?
It would be Denver. That would be the thought. Like in the West, it would be them, and possibly OKC because of Hartenstein. And
No, they're Shea dependent, and I don't think Shea's game translates to the playoffs. I don't think he gets playoff foul calls like he gets in the regular season.
Hold on, I'm about to look at the West standings. Şengün, I don't believe in the Rockets. That's not a team I'm taking serious. But
you're gonna look at the West standings and you're gonna come back to Denver and OKC.
Well, I have to throw OKC because they're 47-11. But at the same time, you know what's funny? The Grizzlies are the 2 seed, and like what it is Ja's not really having that great of a year. Is really what it is with them. And
hey, Jay gonna be up for Supermax this year because he's probably gonna win DPOY.
I know, but I think I said that to you. They were like, it's gonna be like 3. He was gonna get. He basically what Luka would have got because
I wouldn't even offer it.
Yeah, but what do you trade him?
No, you just offer him. You offer him the max because he can get more from you than he can.
But then if he declines it, then what?
Bro, I'm not paying Triple J $300 million.
I'm with you. I don't think he's that type of a cornerstone, but the Jazz did it with Rudy Gobert. They gave him $200 million.
And that was stupid.
And they were able to trade him. But like,
I would just figure out like, hey, Triple J, you understand how this new second apron work.
But
we can still pay you more money than anybody can.
Quick thing, the Nuggets, when they just beat them Saturday, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Nuggets have played since then, but like the Nuggets are 9-1 in their last 10 games. So that, like I said, they beat a good team. They beat a team that had been playing well.
Yeah, but they played against, but like the Nuggets hadn't been playing against good teams. So like
I don't care. You're still winning games.
Fair enough.
You have to play your schedule. I mean, like,
but hey, question for you.
Go ahead.
Would you like to see a Warriors-Lakers 3-6 matchup in the first round?
No, I'm so, and only because I'm looking at literally the standings right now. We know the Thunder are going to be 1.
Yeah, but that doesn't answer my question. I
don't want that to be the first round. I'd rather them set up to where one of them is like the Lakers could be the 3, but like they look like they probably are going to be the 4. It looks like the Lakers and Rockets are probably going to play each other, and that's a team where everybody's going to take LeBron, especially with home court. Like,
yeah, then Lakers get
home court.
Lakers get OKC second round. They beat them second round, and then we're in the Western Conference.
That's what I said. So look at how it looks right this second. Now the Warriors, they're the 8 play in. We know how that can switch out or whatever.
And bro, they're 5-1 with Jimmy. So like,
but how do you like the Warriors against the Thunder in the round 1?
I don't think they play each other. I think the Warriors move up.
I do too, but I'm just simply saying, well, what if that is the round 1 match?
Well, it's not. I mean, if it is, like, I got the
You're
Warriors.
saying maybe the Timberwolves, because the Suns, the Kings, those are the only other teams. And then there's the Mavericks with AD.
They're going to be good. They're going to be good. Once they get healthy.
Who's going to be the odd man out of the 8? Because Thunder, Grizzlies, Nuggets, Lakers, Rockets, Clippers, those 6 to me they're in. They're probably going to be in.
I think the Warriors pass the Clippers.
And the Warriors are going to probably be in. So who's out? So are the Timberwolves out and the Mavs in? Who's in?
Hold on, let me pull it up so I can.
The Timberwolves seem like the team that might not be in.
Well, if Julius Randle stays out, they'll be in.
Are you saying he hurts the team?
Yeah. They play better with Nas Reed and starting lineup.
Nas Reed's a dog too. Nas Reed, a super underrated player in the NBA. He's really good.
Warriors bump up. Timberwolves fall to 8. The Rockets are the team I'm going to be watching. Because the Rockets,
I don't think they're going to free fall though.
They're 4-6 in their last 10. If the Rockets fall,
and they're still basically the same record as the Lakers.
Yeah, but they're playing. But the Lakers are on the.
You're saying that they could fall to 7-8, and then because it's play-in, they could lose out. Basically,
they could lose now. Yeah, I think the Rockets are the odd team.
They're 14 games above 500 league. Remember that.
Yeah, but they
almost March.
But if they fall into the play-in, I trust the Timberwolves, I trust the Warriors, I trust the Mavericks over them, and the Clippers too.
I think the Clippers are going to be in because they're playing with house money because Kawhi Leonard's currently playing like the 3rd best player on the team.
Yeah, but my point, I'm not arguing that. My point being is that, like, I think the Rockets are the weakest team of the top 9 in the West.
Because they don't have any proven – they're not proven in any way. But like,
no, they're not proven at all, and they don't have a guy.
They don't have a star power, a person to lean on.
No, they don't. Not even star power from the sense of a name.
No, but just I'll tell you what, who do you think would take the last shot for the Rockets?
God damn. Let me.
My bad.
Point.
I'm just saying, who would take the last shot for the Rockets down 1 with 3 seconds?
I'm not answering your question. I'm finishing my point because my point answers your question.
All right.
It's that there's nobody on their team that I trust to go get a bucket when they need one. So you were saying last shot. I'm not even saying last shot because you know in the playoffs, sometimes in the 3rd quarter you're down 8. You need a nigga to go just get a bucket to get it to 6. You're gonna keep it at 6, but you need somebody to say, "Hey, I'm getting 2 points on this possession." They don't have that.
The Rockets are going to get KD this offseason, but go ahead.
I won't be mad at that, but
wouldn't that be a nice fit?
I think so. I got a question for you about Jimmy.
Okay.
Is Jimmy the best number 1 option that hasn't won a ring?
We talked about this too. I know we got to get it on footage, but the answer is to not win a ring. I mean, we didn't watch Barkley, but it seems like Barkley would have been. It seems like Barkley would have been to me.
Or Malone.
Right. Yeah. Or Malone. I mean, because like
Jimmy make top 100?
Who? Does
Jimmy make top 100?
Yeah, all time. Yeah, probably.
He should.
Yeah.
He's
better than players like Vince Carter.
He's better than Klay Thompson. Yes, Jimmy's better than Klay Thompson.
No, I get it because he's a two-way guy too. But like,
no, because Jimmy's the number 1 option.
Well, Klay is ruining himself because he just hasn't been.
Klay could continue to be Klay, and and I'd still tell you Jimmy Butler is better than Clay.
Clay's a guy that scored 39 and a quarter too. I mean, like, let's not like act like that didn't happen. Like, these are things that happened. It wasn't a dream. It really happened.
But you know what? You never drive to you. At no point since Clay left Washington State has a team drove to the arena and said the game plan is to stop Clay.
Yeah, because he played with Steph. But like,
don't give a fuck who he played with.
Joe Dumars get a lot of flack for playing with Isaiah Thomas. Like,
but Clay's game does not say, hey.
But he was a good defender, and he's 6'7" and was a shooting guard. Like,
yeah, but Clay can't get his own bucket.
We'll never know. We'll never know what that would have looked like with him.
No. We do know what it would look like because Clay never added the tools to his game to go get his own bucket.
I don't know, Lee. I just think
you do know. You're giving him credit for something he didn't do. You've watched Klay Thompson, and you know that Klay Thompson can't go get his own bucket. But you're going to lean on, well, he had Steph, so he never had to.
Because he didn't.
But when you watch his game, he has not proven the ability to.
He played with the top 10 player all time.
But he never has shown the ability to go get his own bucket.
He played with the top 10 player all time. Then he played with another top 10 player all time.
And he never shows the ability to get his own bucket.
Can you imagine being Clay wasn't on the All NBA 75, right?
Fuck no.
All right. But KD and Steph were, and he played with them while also maintaining a 21, 5, and 3 average. I'm just saying, and he played with the DPOY and Draymond. Like, that's 4 Hall of Famers on it because they're all going to go to the Hall of Fame. He played with 4 Hall of Famers. It just is so hard to grade him because we never will know what he looked like in his prime playing somewhere else.
It's not about
because we know what Jimmy is in his prime. And he played on multiple different teams, and he always was the alpha on the team he played with, whether it's with Embiid, whether it's with Cat and Wiggins, whether it's with he played with Derrick Rose. Like, he played with these other really good players.
Yeah, but it's not about Clay not having the opportunity. It's about Clay never showing the skill set to do it given the opportunity. You haven't watched Clay take the ball top of the key, 1-4 flat. Hey, I'm about to go get a bucket. All Clay's scoring comes off of a play call or somebody else's work.
Yeah, because
that's what his skill set is.
You're saying he's not dribbling and like Kobeing a nigga.
I'm not saying Kobe.
No, it doesn't have to be Kobe. I'm just using Kobe.
He's not Michael Redden, nigga.
Ooh, but see,
I'm not saying Michael Redden's better.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm talking about the style of play.
Yeah,
that's kind of who he reminds. I mean, I get what you're saying. He's not. His game is catch, shoot, dribble. He's a system player.
I'm not going to call him a system player. I'm going to call him a secondary option.
You want to know who he would have been great on? If we could just do NBA, just like fuck it type shit. He would have been a great player for the Spurs. But Steve Kerr kind of comes from that tree. He would have been a great player. Like, if he played with like Tim Duncan and them, Klay Thompson would have been.
But I'll say my overall point in this is Clay has the career accolades, like the team success, that puts him in those conversations. And he may make top 100, and I won't be mad if he makes top 100. But he's not done what Jimmy Butler's done.
I agree. I feel exactly what you're saying.
He's not done what Dwight Howard's done. He's never
But wait,
never been the lead dog.
You were talking about Jimmy. You honestly have sat here, and it wasn't that I thought he was better. I think he's going to be looked at more fondly. But like, I agree with you. Jimmy Butler's a better basketball player than Klay Thompson.
You know, Klay Thompson hasn't been asked to do. Shit,
He's a better player. He's just a better player. He went to 2 finals.
But I want you. He hasn't been asked to do what Trae Young's been asked to do. If Klay Thompson makes top 100 over Kyrie Irving, it's wrong. It's wrong. I watched the games. And I brought up this topic about Jimmy because I don't want Jimmy to be remembered wrong because he may not have the accolades that support what he did when he played, you know? Like Jimmy might be the guy who falls into the abyss once the people talking about basketball didn't watch him play.
Right.
And you'll try to sell me that these other guys were better than Jimmy. But I watched Jimmy take Giannis's soul. I've watched Jimmy take Jason Tatum's soul. I've watched Jimmy try to take the Celtics soul in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals, and he just missed a three. He could have got to the cup and possibly got fouled, hit the free throws, and won the game. You know what I mean? Like Jimmy is Isaiah Thomas without the rings. The nigga who looked everybody down, looked everybody in the face who they said was better than him, and he competed with them at their level or at a higher level. But Jimmy just doesn't walk away with the jewelry, so it looks different. Like Joel Embiid may be remembered as a greater player than Jimmy Butler because he was an MVP. But you and I know, as people who watch basketball in this era, if we are building a team and you say, hey, your cornerstone is Joel Embiid or your cornerstone is Jimmy Butler, I know with either one of them, I ain't getting 7 years. Hopefully I get a re-up after 3.
Jimmy.
I trust what Jimmy's going to get me in my 3.5 over Joel.
But this is why the Jimmy to Golden State thing makes a lot of sense. He slots so well as a 2 to a Steph. Like, not only because he does everything that Steph won't do, but like Jimmy also is he's a good combination of like, look at Draymond, look at Steph.
He's Draymond and Klay.
Obviously not as good a shooter as Klay.
No, he can play, make, he can shoot, he can score.
Yeah, but that's why I said that's why it's a healthy median, right? Like it's just healthy because of how it's set up for him to be a 2. He hasn't had to be a 2 since he played with Derrick Rose, because he wasn't the 2 in Minnesota. I guess you could say he was in Philly, maybe, but no, like
he wasn't.
He really wasn't, though. Right on those Sixer teams, he kind of wasn't the 2 there either.
He's a willing passer. So
Joel Embiid is the franchise. It's not that he was the best player; he just was the franchise.
Yeah,
and same thing with Rose. I mean, obviously, nobody thought Jimmy was gonna be as good as he was. I mean, he was a late first-round pick, but like, it was just a different thing, and that's a different era of basketball too. When he first was there, he's with Tibbs, then he's with Tibbs again. But like,
hey, if Jimmy drops 50 in the first round of the playoffs, will you be shocked?
In a playoff game, 50 is crazy. But
what did Jimmy do?
40? If you went for 40, no, I really wouldn't be shocked.
Last time he was in the playoffs, when he sent Giannis them home, he had a 50 ball in that series.
Yeah, but 50, that's what I'm saying. 50 in a playoff game.
I didn't say you
for 63. That's the highest scored playoff game.
I'm not saying do you expect it, would you predict it? I said, would you be shocked if it happened?
Yeah, 50, even if he's done it. I'm just saying 50.
It ain't shocking me.
As a 2 with Steph Curry as a teammate, it would shock me if he got 50.
Well,
50.
I don't think it's
50.
I don't think it's likely But I think if there's a game where Jimmy is getting off, Steph is letting Jimmy cook, and Jimmy's getting off more because Steph is out there doing his off-ball shit.
They don't want to leave him open. But,
Exactly.
50. I mean, 50. I'm going to keep saying it. 50.
Dog, 2
50.
years ago,
50. Lee, 50.
2 years ago, he had 56.
I know what he did. I'm saying 50 with Steph Curry. 50. Nigga, ain't nobody done 50 with Steph Curry in a playoff game. Because we're talking playoffs. Well, I'm not talking about their next game he scores 50. I'm talking a playoff game. I don't know. I don't know about that. But, like, not with Steph Curry. He's the best player on the Heat. I mean, Tyler Hero wasn't as good as he is today when he did that.
Yeah, he was.
Fuck out of here.
He just didn't have the touches.
Tyler Hero was a 20-point-a-night guy.
KD dropped 45 with Steph Curry on the court.
Yeah, but that's Kevin Durant. So that's easier to imagine. Yeah, I could absolutely. If they had traded for KD the way that they said he declined going back, yeah, if you told me, would it shock me I'd say no. I was like, KD could do it. Jimmy not.
Hey, but hold on.
The scorer that he is. So 50 is a big number. 50.
KD's career playoff high is 50 points.
That's what but 50. Think about
Jimmy's career playoff high is
lower scoring games anyways.
Huh?
I said playoff games are lower scoring games to begin with all the way around.
But
50 from a nigga that has Steph Curry on the floor with him means not only did he shoot the ball 20 times, but he was 16 of 20. He went to the line 10 times, and he made all of his free throws. There's a lot of stuff.
If Jimmy scores 50,
and Jimmy's not a 3-point shooter like that. So, like,
if Jimmy scores 50, he's going to the line 15 times at least. And the point that I'm making is I don't think he's going to score 50 in the playoffs. I don't think he scores 40 in the playoffs. Do I think he has a 32 plus game? Probably. I'm talking about capability. And if you're sitting here telling me that you don't think Jimmy is capable of scoring 50, like, take Steph Curry out of it. Because in a game where Jimmy scores 50, is Jimmy gets going crazy early. So we're not thinking about Steph like that.
Yeah.
As far as getting points, it's just Jimmy's cooking. And I know that you believe that Jimmy is physically capable of doing that. Not likely.
Not in the current situation. I don't think he does it. But like
I'm not saying will he do it. I'm saying I'm just saying, like, bro, you watching the game and you go, oh, Jimmy's getting off. Oh, Jimmy got 13 in the first quarter. None of that shit will shock you. You're lying if you said it will shock you. You're not gonna be like, where the fuck did this come from? If Pajinski goes for 25 in a playoff game, you're gonna be like, nigga, what the fuck?
I think that's more likely than him scoring 50 with Steph Curry.
I think it may be more likely, but it's still more shocking. Because 25 is so much.
I mean,
25 is so much easier than 50 because Pajinski could hit 6 threes. That's 18 points.
So I tell you what, though. Then I'll ask you a question.
Ask me a question.
What do you think the Warriors' playoff run this season looks like?
It's going to depend on seeding, but I think their ceiling is the Western.
They're second round.
I think
they're getting knocked out in the second round.
Well, you asked me the fucking question.
I know, but I'm just telling you. Go ahead.
I think their ceiling is Western Conference Finals. I don't think they're going to get there. I think they're
right. Yeah.
I think they're second round and done. It just depends on the way the bracket falls. But if they fall in one of those weird places,
all they have to do is
Houston and Memphis.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. The certain teams, maybe even OKC. Everybody's giving OKC a lot of shit. That's a team I can see losing in the first round for sure.
If they get a veteran team in the first round, I can see them losing. If they get a veteran team in the second round, I can see them losing. I don't believe in them, not because I don't think they're good, bro, but they're young, man, and we know how the playoffs work. The old heads win in the playoffs.
You know, you said 3-6 Lakers. What if they played Denver? Let's say it was Denver Golden State. I would take Denver, right? Like, I would take Denver.
I would take Denver. I would take Denver, but if Golden State wins, I'm not shocked.
Me neither. Now, I wouldn't be shocked about that. I wouldn't be shocked if they knocked them out in the first round.
Let me put this out there. I won't be shocked by anything that Golden State, Denver, or the Lakers do in the playoffs.
Can I compare this NBA Western Conference season to the year when
Kobe did something?
Well, the Lakers were the best team that year, but remember, the 18 was a 50-win team. They played Denver.
I just knew Kobe was going to get a nice posthumous
little kiss on the ass. All right. Look, what I'm saying is that let's compare it to that year or the year. Do you remember the year where the Clippers beat the Spurs? The Spurs were like the 6 and the Clippers were the 3. It's like the one time.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the Clippers won a couple of
first round series,
but they beat the Spurs that year, and that was a 7-game series, and like everybody was like, wow, you know, them beating them in the first round felt like they beat them in the second round because of who it was. It would be the equivalent in a sense where a team like, if Golden State drew the Clippers, like, there are like a lot, and I don't think that it would work that way because I feel like the Clippers won't get to that point where it would be, because it would almost have to be like a 4-5 type thing. But like, and I just don't think that it's enough games left for them to get there. But I couldn't see it from that perspective. But this year's Western Conference Finals, or Western Conference playoff picture in general, is going to set up so much drama because everybody's going to be in on the dogs. Nobody believes in any of the top dogs. There are people that are Thunder people. Like the Thunder, I think if they're not first, they're second in the odds to win the title. But like
the NBA media
really believe that they're gonna do it. Like I don't.
The NBA media does, but that's because the NBA media likes what's fresh and new and analytical. That like the NBA media
purists.
But no, they're not basketball purists because they don't understand basketball. You know what I mean? Just like how you and I understand how fire Ant-Man is.
Right.
Because you think about guarding a nigga who can finish at the rack, whether he's laying up or dunking it, shoot the 3, pull up midi. You go, it's hard to guard this. Like, guarding him is going to kick my ass. They'll tell you that, bro, Nick Wright said the other day that Ant-Man's ceiling is not Luka's ceiling. And I go, you may be right. Their ceilings aren't there, but let's actually level set and see like where we predict they end at. Because what I think basketball media lacks is a lot of people who are athletic. So they just look at straight skill shit and numbers. Not understanding if somebody is athletic, the basketball may not be as aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
But it's more effective and it buys you more time to become a more skilled basketball player, i.e. Giannis. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
When James Harden was like saying Giannis isn't skilled, you just drive at the basket and dunk. He wasn't wrong.
But that's Shaq-like is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it was taken as James Harden disrespecting Giannis's game. And it's like, no, he's saying that like this nigga is 5 and he ain't even good at basketball.
Right. He's using his natural born given abilities type shit.
Yeah, like Ryan Russillo did this thing on this pod where he was like compiling like quote unquote bad sports takes from former athletes. And he used Gilbert's take on Giannis saying that like once Giannis learns how to play basketball, he's really going to be a problem. And Russillo was like, multi-time MVP, multiple-time DPOI, and champion. I think this guy knows how to play basketball. What is Gilbert Arenas talking about? But when you talk to a nigga who hoops, you go, like, Giannis ain't really good. Like, he's productive. But when basketball players talk about like
shooting on people and stuff, but like
but hold on, let me finish this.
Go ahead.
Basketball players view basketball through a skill purist point of view. But that's not actually basketball. Again, if you are a basketball purist, you will say that Kobe, KD, Michael Jordan,
every player in the league, not to bring because you
hold on. Let me finish my fucking point. You know, you say that like these players are like Kobe, KD, Michael Jordan are better players than LeBron James because of their skills. But when you look at productivity, you go, LeBron has been just as productive or more productive longer.
Okay.
So he's better. But if you're a basketball player, you go, I mean, a lot of that shit is just athleticism, bro. The nigga is 6'8" and can dunk on you. And he's like as fast as the fastest person on the court. But like skill-wise, he can't fuck with me. And I understand this because coming to Morehouse, I don't know how much pickup you play, but it's actually some skilled niggas that we went to school with hooping. But I was more athletic than them, so like I could guard them. And they couldn't necessarily guard me, but like they had a much better bag than me, a much better jump shot, a much better handle. But I'm like, I can first step by you.
And like I said, I hear everything that you're saying, and I agree with it. But what I guess maybe the way that I see it from this perspective,
you got to glaze Kobe first.
I'm not glazing Kobe. I'm telling what interviews and what everybody says. Like Matt Barnes. Now, granted, Matt Barnes played with Kobe, but like at the same time, Matt Barnes has said it, and he recently had said this. It's one of those things where even for them as players, they look at what's going on. It's not anything that LeBron's not doing. It's that Kobe was doing something better.
But he wasn't.
LeBron
But he wasn't. No, hold on.
In the NBA, and nobody looks at him as a scorer, which speaks to him.
But he is. They're fucking wrong.
Yeah, he's at 27 a year, like 27 per, like a lot of 10 plus years in the league. But I'm saying, like, Kobe's numbers, for instance, when you break down Kobe, let's keep it 100. He basically didn't play his first 2 years.
Glaze.
He didn't play his first 2 years. And then his last 3 or 4,
he sucked.
He was injured.
He fucking sucked.
He had injuries that were, he had back-to-back injuries. He had an Achilles and then he had a knee. And like, he still could, on a given night do something. But like, it was over. His team sucked. Like he went out. He was going out sad regardless. He was playing with not Kyle, because he's playing with Julius Randle and fucking D'Lo. Like these were the niggas he was playing with. Niggas look at D'Lo crazy when he's playing with LeBron. Now, like when he was just
base guy, nigga. Hold on. Just let this ride real quick.
I know what song it is. Go ahead. Just play it. My goodness.
Nah, you go ahead and talk because we ain't to the hook yet. I just, I just got to call out the glazing when I see it.
Oh, my goodness. Look, Lee, if you want to work for Krispy Kreme and be the head glazer,
I couldn't because I don't even know how to glaze. I would need you to show me the proper way to glaze.
Call LeBron sexuals for a reason.
I'm not even caping for Braun right now. I'm just defending your Kobe cape because Kobe was definitely a skilled scorer, but Kobe didn't necessarily make players better.
Kobe Bryant was an elite defender too.
Huh?
He was an elite defender.
Who?
Kobe Bean Bryant was a elite defender as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue that with
Well,
you,
you have
but I also
the first team both sides.
yeah, but come on, man. You know that you know
And you had
all
5
these,
rings as opposed to 4, and you didn't team up with like these like crazy like you didn't team up with literally.
Yeah, he did team up.
LeBron played with the 3rd greatest shooting guard of all time. Like
And Kobe played
won 2 rings with him in his city.
but Kobe played with the most dominant center of all time, or second if you want to throw in Wilt. So what are we saying?
Jokic, but
Jokic wasn't more dominant.
Can't get past these days. But my point is this:
I'm just saying, like we talked about this last week.
You know, I'm gonna die on this Kobe hill.
I know you're gonna die
when it's a direct player comparison, and what I saw.
Well, I wasn't making a direct.
He's better. I don't have any problem. Like
I wasn't making a direct comparison. I was only bringing up when I brought up Kobe in this conversation. It was me admiring his skills as a player, but speaking to the difference between skill set and productivity. But I know you're gonna glaze Kobe. You're gonna take his side no matter what.
I know what I saw. I know what I saw.
I could tell you that LeBron never had the terrible seasons that Kobe had, and you'd say, well, but Kobe had these other seasons. And I go, okay, and?
Somebody tried to compare because there's a reason why it's a conversation.
Because they both came out of high school.
If it was so obvious, it wouldn't be one. But
they both came out of high school, so it's not like
That's true. And who was it? It was somebody, I think, on Gil's Arena that said basically Kobe. They said, well, LeBron is better. It was Gilly the Kid, actually. He said, now, whatever that nigga talks about, but he basically, his opinion was this, and he's a Philly nigga, and so is Kobe. He said, this was his opinion. Kobe came to a team, and nobody said he was the top dog. They said LeBron's never not been the alpha on any team he's been on, right? Yeah. So you can look at it that way. Now, Grant,
it speaks to him being better. That speaks to him with a certain level of
to the Lakers the same year he got drafted. Well, he got drafted to the Hornets, obviously, but traded. Shaq signed with the Lakers. It was the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean,
his whole team that won 13 fucking games the year before.
LeBron walked in.
Yeah, he wasn't gonna be the fucking second man on the totem to Zadrunas Ilgauskas and Drew Gooden. Like, no, that wasn't. No, of course he wasn't.
He was drafted to be the franchise. Kobe wasn't. Kobe was the 13th.
But Jerry West.
Kobe was the 13th pick, not the first pick. The expectations coming in were
different. He was better than the first pick.
Not at that time.
Because the first pick was lighting it up in college.
And the first pick did more with less.
And not to be funny, guys like him, KG, them dudes paved the way for LeBron to be able to be a true number one out of high school. And LeBron did his thing because he was that talented. But I'm saying,
LeBron showed up to the NBA. What, first game? A triple
25-5.
Huh?
25-5.
No, but his first game was like a triple double.
It was like 25. It was something. Let's look it up. LeBron's first game. ChatGPT will always answer these questions. He did not have a triple double.
He had.
Hold on, I'm typing in LeBron's first game stats. He had
25, 6 rebounds, 9 assists.
9 assists and 4 steals. He was 12 of 20. He played 42 minutes, and they played against a good team because the Kings were pretty good there.
And he came in the league day one. He scored 25 points, and then he averaged 20 on the year.
LeBron is great.
Kobe was not that when he showed up into the league. He
wasn't. I can see your face right now. It still is frozen on my end, but like.
Oh, I was about to say, I'll take my glasses off. Kobe.
No, I have not seen you this entire time. I see your initial. It's like you just sitting in a chair.
But no, Kobe was great. But when he showed up, he wasn't LeBron. He didn't have the expectations, nor did he have the clout, nor was he the basketball player day one. Now, if we're going to argue who was better at their peak, that's a different argument. But like, if we're talking about in the totality of the career, Kobe's not LeBron throughout an entire career. LeBron did it longer. He did it better. He won more. He's winning more consistently as an older player, and he's producing better as an older player. That's facts. That's not being a LeBron.
Go to Krispy Kreme if you want to glaze. But
I'm not glazing anything. I'm just spitting out legitimate facts. Look it up.
But I give out the facts too. Kobe's a 10-time all defensive first team plair. Like decade of the top defensive player.
I don't respect NBA defensive awards.
You know, and this is another thing. Think about Michael Jordan. No. I'm not even bringing Michael Jordan into this, but
that nigga guarded me and you.
Michael Jordan won a DPOY. Like, think about that shit. Even when it comes to him and the conversation between those two. Like, I'm just saying with LeBron.
Hey, Parlay P. I bet you could go to Mount Vernon Lower School.
Okay.
And win DPOY. That tells me nothing.
Oh man.
I'm just saying
that though. Like, I'm
just saying, bro, like because I watch basketball and I also study media narratives, I understand how the two work together.
But when you're the best player in the league, the thing is that it's not, in Jordan's case, it's not his fault that he was the nigga that kept winning.
He won 6.
Everybody's like, he ain't have to put, like, I sent you something where they compare LeBron and
he won
like their champion, who they had to beat and who had the tougher opponents. But it's not his fault that he was the dynasty. Unfortunately, it's no one's fault. They're going to be looked at as lesser because he was the nigga that kept winning. LeBron's road is against teams that were winning. He beat the Spurs, who had won 5 titles, and he lost to them twice. He
also
beat a young Thunder team that looks good today because of really who that team was. But that was a team that wasn't ready to beat him, not that Heat team. They weren't going to beat that Heat team.
Yeah, because that Orlando team was ready to beat the Lakers team.
He lost to Dallas, a team that the Spurs and the Lakers wiped in the playoffs every fucking year. Literally.
Hold on. You're talking about the Dallas team that swept Kobe?
They did sweep Kobe.
Okay. Just make sure you put that out there. Oh, the Lakers, they handled the Dallas team. Oh, but that Dallas team swept Kobe. Kobe got swept in the first round, didn't he?
No, it was the second. But that Dallas team is the equivalent of like the Ravens with Joe Flacco. It's the hottest run I've ever seen of an NBA team. I've never seen a team carry momentum that way.
Kobe, a championship Kobe got swept by that Dallas team, right?
They went to 3 straight finals. Phil Jackson's last. We got J.J. Barrera getting elbowed by Bynum. It was bad.
I mean, but they got
won like 3 of the. It's because of how Game 4 went. They got
it was a sweep though, right? It was a sweep though, right?
It was. They could have won any of the first 3 games.
I just want to make sure it's a sweep.
It was a sweep.
Okay, thank you. Parlay Pete, can I pivot you for a second?
Go ahead.
Can we talk about the culture just a little bit? Because golly, we're at 2.5 hours.
Yeah, of course.
Steve Smith of NFL Network. He's trending this weekend.
Yeah.
Caught an affair.
He's rearranging things in people these days.
And the husband calls Steve and says, "Hey, you're fucking my wife." And Steve is like, I'm sorry. What the fuck am I supposed to say to you? And The guy ends up exposing it. He puts out the text messages. And I just read it and I go, okay, Steve Smith is wrong because he had sex with a married woman as a married man. Those things are common, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually normal, if we're being honest. Because I'll break down the calculus of cheating. When you're in a serious relationship, you don't really want to cheat with anybody who has nothing to lose. That's why married people cheat on each other with each other, because you know they're going to keep it solid, because they typically don't want to shake up their situation at home.
There's a whole website called Ashley Madison because of this type of stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people got exposed because of that. But hey, bro, wasn't that sucker shit of the husband of the young lady from the band?
Man, he could have been really hurt. I mean, I wouldn't have done it, but like he could have been really hurt. And the thing is that if you've got somebody you've invested time, money, emotion in, and like in their case specifically, he's a pro athlete. He was married. He had 4 kids. They were like, somebody put it up on Twitter. They showed like he put up a Christmas picture, and they're like, that's diabolical, right? That's like this YN ass term these days, a nigga being diabolical. And
bro, man, niggas try to
he tagged AB. He tagged everybody that pays Steve Smith. Yeti. There's like random shit that he tagged in it. Like I thought that was a little unnecessary, but like, because he could have really but he wanted it to be that way. But I get it. He felt embarrassed personally, so he wanted to publicly embarrass her and him.
I think he wanted Steve to have to go through a divorce and possibly lose his job.
And that was, but that was really the thing too, though. It was not even about the idea of, because Steve could have just said, bro, that's your wife's problem. Like, she fucked me. But it's like, no, you're married too. So, like, it made it worse. And
that's why it's sucker shit.
Yes, I agree with you. Like, I would never do it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, like I understand why he did it.
Why he did it. I wouldn't do it, but like I understand.
Yeah, no, like
too.
I'm with you. I totally understand it. I don't want people to think I don't understand it. But here's the thing: when it comes to being a man and abiding by a certain like rule set,
a code,
your emotions can make you want to do something, but like when you have a higher calling, and for a lot of men, it's the man code. And for a lot of people, it's their religion, right? You have a higher calling that dictates your movement, so you don't allow. The goal is to allow your personal feelings to cloud your decision making because you subscribe to something bigger than you.
Correct.
And Buddy didn't subscribe to something bigger than him, because nigga, that shit was lame as hell. Like what you don't realize is cheating, you can work through cheating when there's no embarrassment in the cheating. Like, people are quick to say, hey, if I get cheated on, I'm done. I'm one here to tell you, to whoever hears this, I'm not guaranteeing I'm out if I get cheated on. My pride says I'm out, but real me says, why did she cheat? Because if you're honest with yourself as a partner, people don't cheat for no reason. In their mind, they typically don't cheat for no reason unless they're a total piece of shit. And that speaks to your inability to properly fucking choose a partner. But like, people just ain't
on in what part of life. But I think you're speaking specifically on
marriage. I'm speaking like at our age. At our age, niggas ain't cheating for no reason in a serious relationship.
Got you. Okay.
There's something going on in that relationship that needs to be solved that would likely stop that person from cheating. And that is not me saying cheating's okay or caping for cheaters, because no, you still got to have that discipline to not do it, even if you are feeling alienated in your relationship. You need to solve the problem in your relationship or end your relationship.
Yeah, I would think at that point, if in a marriage or like a very much so relationship that has been like a marriage.
But I'm telling you, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. It's not as easy as what we're talking about on this podcast.
Well, situations present themselves. Like,
yeah,
there are different scenarios.
Bro, it's not even situations presenting themselves. It is if you're not feeling appreciated at home, but you want to be appreciated, you may go seek that shit out so it doesn't present itself. You go look for it.
But you could be appreciated at home and still do it. Like,
well, if you're appreciated, like, bro, if you're cheating and life is good at home, you're selfish. I ain't talking about
yeah, but okay, but so now I get to exactly where I want to go. That's the point. I think that there's a selfishness amongst us as people, and certainly, or greed even to a degree. Like, I have never obviously been married, but even for me, when I think about, I've cheated for sure in a relationship. I got cheated on and I knew about it and I stayed with the person. And that's what I said, what point in life? That was in college, I got cheated on. Like, and I found out about it. Actually, Mr. Turner is the person that told me about it. And like, I was out of town when it happened. And like I said, then this is obviously, it's college, but I'm just saying I'm 19. And the thing was, for me, I really liked this girl. But it was stupid of me to think that this chick wouldn't sleep with somebody else ever again. That was stupid of me to think, because you're like, well, if I'm in a relationship with you, you shouldn't be doing this.
But did you ask why she did?
And why am I in a relationship if I don't plan on marrying you? Right? Like, that's kind of the other part of it.
Well,
like,
you're young.
I want this to be a forever. But like, I'm saying, in a sense of, even in that situation, I knew that I probably wouldn't marry her. Not that it couldn't have led to that, but like, that wasn't going to happen.
But hold on. You're applying 19-year-old logic. I don't want you to apply 19-year-old logic. I want you to apply logic in your 30s. Because that 19-year-old logic as a man is so fucking different. It's totally different from your adult logic. And like, if we're going to be honest here, nigga, we got kids. Let's take it off of cheating. We've both dealt with the mothers of our children with softer hands than we would deal with other women just because they're the mothers of our children. And this ain't about cheating. This is just about just general shit.
Yeah.
You're going to deal with more because you have more invested. And the point that I'm making is, when you have a lot invested, one major mistake does not necessarily end the relationship. And even if you end the relationship, you don't necessarily cut ties, because if you've invested a lot of time in a human being, bro, y'all got so many inside jokes, natural things that make you want to talk to that person that y'all have in common.
Experiences, even when you meet other people and you have to talk about.
Oh God, bro!
Part of your journey.
Yeah, bro. Like, I've been like separated from a woman or broken up, whatever, and then you're around other women, and you just sitting there like, Chris Brown, she ain't you.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, you might empty the sack. You know what I'm saying? You might drain me. But like, yeah, I got that great sensation from you, but I really want to be with my girl. Like,
and think about it that way too. it isn't even necessarily the person that you choose being the person that you have the best sex with.
Bro, it's not even about
it's
that.
not, but you know, as much as that, because that's the cheating aspect, it isn't even the most important thing. Like in a sense of for why you like the person you like. Period.
I don't think
it's important, but it's not the most important thing.
Bro,
literally.
I don't think mature people cheat off of just the physical. Unless you just ain't never got pussy before, and I can't speak for those people. But like, if you know you can walk in somewhere and grab something when you want to, not every night. I'm saying when you want to, you can pretty much get who you want, and you cheating, bro. It's deeper than just lust. I think it's something that's lacking, and you're trying to get that void filled, but you don't have the courage to confront your problems at home and make it clear that that void's not being filled, and you're going to go elsewhere to get that void filled, to allow that other person to make a decision. And this ain't a man thing or a woman thing. It's just, I think it's a people thing.
Right.
Can we have a little bit of fun as we close this shit out?
Let's do it.
You hear about that shit at Ole Miss?
Yeah, I did. So I saw it on Twitter today, and I was telling old Erico here about it, and because I was trying to find the initial tweet, I just kept saying it on, like, you know, they'll give you the suggested timeline and stuff. But I got the understanding of what happened. I read the Snapchat or something, and that's wild. That's some white people shit too. Like,
bro,
I don't think any nigga, like, I mean, I couldn't imagine that happening with any nigga.
Yo, if my dad fucked my girlfriend, call me Adam Menendez, man.
Right. And she was hot too. The girl actually looks really good, but
that might be his first hot chick. He's in college.
Well, when I looked at the son, it looked like he pulled definitely higher than, I mean, no homo or no offense even to him, but like, he looked like he was pulling something a little bit better than, maybe he's a smooth talking nigga. I don't know. But like, he just looked like he pulled higher than what he should. She looked like she might have been one of the higher chicks at Ole Miss. And so if his dad is a guy that's well off, probably cheats on his mom anyways. Now the dad's the wild one.
Yeah, bro, that's nasty.
She wasn't just trying to suck dad's dick.
Dad wanted his dick.
Wanted it. Yeah, the dad wanted it.
Hey, probably.
But I couldn't do. I don't have a son. Neither do you. I don't give a fuck how smooth of an older dude I am. But if I have a son that's 18, 19, 20, and his girlfriend is hot, I'm just a good man. Good job, son. I'll pat the nigga on the back. I don't think that I could, even if I could be a single dad and not married to his mom. And like, I just don't, man, morally, there are certain moral things I just can't do. I wouldn't do that.
Bro, you could bring some work that you haven't touched around, and she could catch my vibe. I'm not even engaging in her, like, for real, without getting a thumbs up from you, and we're friends. Like this is a pops. You know what I'm saying? Your son came out your ball sack. And
that's what I'm saying. Not to my son. I couldn't do that. Like,
I can't do it to my friends. I can't even do it to guys I'm cool with and dap up and don't even call friends, me personally. So I couldn't imagine doing it to my son.
See,
we ain't even talking about work. We're talking about his girl.
I don't want to even get too personal, but I mean, I don't mind sharing it. It really doesn't bother me at this point. But like, I have fucked a friend of a friend's girlfriend before. They weren't in a relationship anymore, but at the same time, it seemed a little sleazy. Like, even for me, because I just am not somebody that does that. Because There's so many people out here to where you don't have to do that, right? But like when somebody is together with somebody, and even when you meet them and they start, it's not just I'm overthinking this. No, I'm like, you're doing stuff that's very inappropriate, and I know it. And nobody else is saying it because you're doing it in front of everyone, but it's also not blatantly obvious to somebody. Now, like again, with the son, that's totally different. But if I fucked a friend of a friend's ex-girlfriend at that, but like somebody that they were with, I look at it as potentially, in the case that I did it, to me, it was doing a justice in a sense of,
oh, you're doing justice, huh? Yeah.
Nah. I mean, not my brother, but like,
No. I wasn't saying about your brother. I was just saying, yeah, you're doing justice because you got your sack drained. Yeah, you did the right thing.
Well, because she was a hoe anyways, and so that was the thing, and so it was just kind of like,
it sounds good.
She's a hoe either. It's just more of a when something presents itself like that, and if it works in the right scenario, I didn't turn it down because I'm a man. And on top of being a man, it's more along the lines of like with that specific situation, you can't be that way as a woman. And like
you're defending your sleazy actions. Because at the end of the day, you control yourself. Damn you being a man, you control yourself. You've told women no that you weren't attracted to.
Correct.
And
I didn't want to have sex too. I've done that.
Again?
I said I've told women that I have been attracted to or had sex with before that I didn't want to have sex. Like,
well, yeah, I'm just telling you that, like,
I told my baby mother.
At the end of the day, she controls her body, and our good friend, Mr. Turner, he always says, if my girl trying to throw it to you, you take it because let me know she's not my girl.
Exactly. But that was how I took it.
So I'm not saying you are wrong for what you did. I'm not saying you're wrong for what you did because at the end of the day,
but again, this was a second degree of a friend. I'm cool with them, but I would touch any of y'all's girls. None of you.
It was a friend of a friend. Oh, that wasn't sleazy.
But if I'm cool with him too, do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but would he do the same to you?
I hope not. But
I hope so.
But it
you
wouldn't happen that way. No offense, like no offense. I'm just saying, it wouldn't happen that way.
If he would,
I tell you, if he would, and if he could, then he should do it.
Yeah. Hey, last thing here, probably Pete, before we get out of here, because nigga, I'm sleepy.
Yeah, I get it.
Podcast P is taking a break to focus on competing for the playoffs. Do you think the front office said, "Hey, Paul, we're getting too much bullshit about your fucking podcast. We know it doesn't affect anything, but that's what's happening. Can you not?"
That's what they really said. But because when you put it in the group, and I saw it before we got on here, I'm like, the reason behind it is because he is focused on a championship run. And I don't know. It made me giggle because, nigga, I felt like Barney, the way, or the Pillsbury Doughboy. I got tickled by it. And, like,
shit, he was hooping today.
I don't give a fuck. I bet on him if he saw he was on that slip. They had him just to make 6 field goals. I'm like, man, he should get at least 7 shots in. But, like, yeah, just another bullshit thing that got put together because they're trying to make him take more seriously the losing. And I don't think that that's going to save that team. Joel and B, they're talking about, well, what are the options for surgery? Because clearly he's not healthy. They should have been traded him. They got to blow that thing up. I mean, who's in a worse position? Seriously, is it the Sixers or is it the Suns? Like, who's in the worst position?
The Suns, because I think Paul George isn't healthy. I don't think he bounced back from his.
So you mean the Sixers? You said the Suns were in the worst position.
Yeah, the Suns are in the worst position because I think the Sixers aren't healthy. And if Joel Embiid and Paul George come back healthy next year, which I think they can if they actually just shut them down, they're in a better spot than the Suns.
Their pick isn't gone too, so they're not adding to that team, and they can't sign anyone because of the contract.
Well, I'm look here. I'm not saying that either one's in a good position. I just think the Suns are in a worse position because, I mean, that's ugly basketball. Like, I don't even like watching the Suns. They got all these national TV games, and I'm like, if KD doesn't have the ball, I don't want to see it. But hey, Parlay Pete, is there anything else important you want to get to? Because
there's nothing else that's just sitting right here. One thing I did want to add, only because I saw the messages on IG.
Go ahead.
I did not realize that with the Falcons thing, because you were like, when we were talking about the Falcons and the grades and stuff, I looked at this and it's like, wow. So not only did we get an A+ for the locker room, we got A+ for coach. We got A+ for weight room. We got A for dining area.
Yeah, bro, I read it all off, bro. Like, we fucking killed that shit.
Yeah, basically, they're like, man, the Falcons are one of the best organizations, but we'll never get anyone here. And that's just, it's like, man, this is fucking bullshit. It's stupid.
Yeah, well,
I didn't realize. I saw the totality grade because I sent it to you and I saw it, but I didn't break it down from each level. But basically, we got an A everywhere or an A+, one or the other.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's a tough team to support.
We suck.
Yeah, but hey, man, it's been good talking to you. We'll do this again next weekend. If we can, let's get up this weekend, hoop a little bit, do something.
Yeah, I'm for sure down. So,
are you at the crib this weekend or are you in the mountain?
No, I'm here. I'm here permanently now. So,
okay, so even if we don't even do anything fun,
I have Mariana, but what I'm saying
if we can't hoop, bro, I just might come by and kick it and like watch fucking.
Yeah, for sure.
Coco Melon, nigga. I don't care, bro.
Yeah. No, I'm down.
Yeah, no, Mari can get the remote, bro. Like, I just want to, bro. We haven't kicked it in forever, bro.
I know. And
to a point that one night,
you and Mr. Turner, of course, I'm out of the country when you niggas are downtown.
Yeah, like, bro, I just want to like hang out with my friend, and like we live too close to like see each other as infrequently as we do.
I agree with you 100%.
All right, dog. I'm gonna holler at you.
All right, brother. We'll talk.
Let me end this stream.